All right, we're basically at the start time, so I imagine the structure of this panel is going to be I'm going to do a rapid fire introduction since we have 15, arguably 16 of us eventually. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to call on everybody pretty much in order of the Zoom call, which my Zoom call. So be ready, Marissa, you will be first. And I'm just going to go down the line, talking like a fast man, introduce it. Then I'll be like, oh, this is Marissa. And you can be like, hello, keep that pace up. I'm Marissa, I do these things. Great. Next up, we got Danny. And then we're just going to keep doing that. And when you're done with your thing, to ignore the input lag between us, just say stop so I know when I'm allowed to start talking. After that, I think we're going to start with probably just general what we'll be doing, and then some flavor of early Q&A for people. Then I think we're gonna read the quick little Among Us thing as kind of a warm-up to get into the reading. And people like Among Us, and you gotta strike that iron while it's hot, because I think it's already starting to cool down because other video games are happening. Then probably a few more questions as like a sandwich, and then we're gonna read the script, the 30-page script I wrote in one sitting, and we'll see how that goes.
Props, bruh.
All right. Yeah,
You're
it
a
is.
champ for getting that all out. Jesus.
Thanks. Yeah, it is 12:30. So, hello, Youmacon, and welcome to the Epithet Erased Halloween cast reunion panel. Woo! I'm Brendan Blaber, aka JelloApocalypse. I made and wrote and directed this show. This is the first time more than like 2 or 3 of us have been together pretty much since the show ended about a year ago. I don't think we've ever had this many cast people in one place, even during production. So this is a lot of fun. Because we have so many panelists, if you literally just hopped on because you're punctual, I'm just gonna run through everybody real quick. First up, we got the voice of Stink, everyone's favorite character, and Howdy Morning's cat, also the casting director for the show, Marissa Lenti.
Hi guys, that's me. You already said all the things that I do.
You can plug other stuff you do. We gotta kill time for Civ.
Oh,
but kill time fast.
I'm also a voice actor. I'm in things like Dragon Ball Super, Fairy Tail, and Borderlands 3. Woo!
All right, woo! And next up, we got the arguable main character of Epithet Erased. It's not really arguable. She's pretty much definitely. I mean, she's gone for half the show, but she'll come back. It's the voice of Molly Blind F, Danny Chambers.
Hi, I'm Danny. I voiced Bear Trap, and I'm Hina in The Day I Became a God. Check it out.
Woo! After her, we have the voice of Howie Honeyglow, Justice Washington.
Hi, I'm Justice. I'm a voice actor. I do Howie. I also stream and do YouTube. I mean, I guess that's my life.
It's all right. Same hat. All right, next up, we have the voice of several characters in order of ascending importance. Skull Shirt Kid, Random Green Bonsai Blaster Girl, and Mara Solomon. It's Lindsay Shepard.
Hello. Hi. Yeah, I'm Lindsay. I am a voice actress, and I voice some characters.
Nice!
You did it.
Then we have the voice of Arnold Markdown, Oliver Tull! Woo!
Hey everybody, I'm Oliver. I'm an actor and a comedian, and I do voices. I'm in Borderlands 1 and 3. I'm in the new Magic that's coming out, so a couple things.
Nice. Then we have the voice of the Well Watcher, and more importantly, Indestar Bella, Anthony Sardina!
Yeah. Hey everybody, I'm Anthony Sardina, as you said before. I'm a voice actor from Toronto, Canada. I'm also in a couple other shows like Meta Runner and Paw Patrol and other stuff like that. You can check me out in places. Yeah.
Woo! And next up, we have the voice of Percival King, Sandra Espinoza!
Yay!
Hello, Youmacon. I am Sandra Espinoza, and I'm the voice of Percy. I'm also the voice of 3 characters in Brawl Stars, Shelly, Jackie, and Ems. It's a fun little mobile game. I'm also the voice of Mandana in Wajidai Games Unavowed. It's a really cool point and click if you love mysteries and supernatural stuff, so check that out.
All right. Then we have, I think, the holder of the #1 record for most characters voiced in one episode. You are Cop with Beard, you are Darkstar, and you are Dr. Beefton. It's Cyrus Rodus!
Hello! Yes, I am the voice actor, man, and streamer. I voice Dr. Beefton Beef, Darkstar Boss, Bearded Cop. He swore. I stream. I do voiceover. I'm depressed, and this is my co-star Pikachu.
Hey.
Nice.
That was
One of those things is
end.
important.
All right. Then voice of everyone's favorite bartender, howdy morning, it's Jordan Dash Cruz.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Jordan Dash Cruz. I'm the voice of Ryo Hoshino in Millionaire Detective Balance Unlimited, Shoma Akiyama in Hensky, and some Smite skins and stuff.
Right. Woo. And then he is the leader of the bunch. You know him well. Master puppeteer and voice of Giovanni Potage. It's Kyle Ignacy.
Yay!
Yeah, I woke up this morning, and that's as far as I've gotten today. 5 weeks ago.
Woo! Then we've got my very good friend who is our pretty much the co-director of this show, lead engineer, every single female extra because we kept forgetting characters and needed someone to hop in the booth. It's Emily Bardo.
Hi, I'm Emily. I'm a voice actress. I'm a director, a writer. I'm a production goon. I do all kinds of stuff at Sound Cadence. And I'm in things like Borderlands, Guns, Love, and Tentacles, and all kinds of things. A bunch of anime.
I love the title Production Goon. All right, next up, the voice of both Sylvester Ashling and his sheep, it's Zach Mayer!
Oh, I forgot I actually did a ton of those sheep samples. Hi, my name is Zachary Mayer. I'm a voice actor based in the fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. You can hear me as Sylvie in Epithet Erased. You can also hear me as Baron Von Boo in Pizza Game. I'm in various other videos on Jello's channel. I'm a frequent D&D streamer on twitch.tv/SurpriseRunRPG, and most recently, twitch.tv/Valorous Games. Go check that out if you can.
All right, then we have the cowgirl herself. It's Dawn M. Bennett, voice of Zora Salazar.
Howdy, y'all. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Dawn M. Bennett. I'm the voice of Zora, and you can also hear me as Kale in Dragon Ball Super, Elm in Ruby, and Frosh in Fairy Tail, and a bunch of enemies you can kill in Borderlands 3.
And then, speaking of people Dawn's characters have tried to kill, it's the voice of Ramsey Murdoch, William Sopp.
Hey, folks. I do some voice work. I'm also in radio. And I'm on Surprise Round RPG for running a couple of games on there, and that's more or less it, yeah.
All right. Well, we actually got through that faster than I intended, which is great. Civ responded with yes when I asked if she was coming, so she's on the way. In case you just hopped on during this introduction, wow, we almost have 4 digits of people. That is by far a record for anything I've ever done on Twitch. Hello, people. That's like a legit. That's like a legit convention hall. Excellent. Thank you all for coming. So, for anyone who just hopped in, I will give you the general rundown of this panel, which I just did, but I'll do it again. We have some things I have written that are new Epithet scripts. I'll say these are not season 2 scripts. I would be mortified if I had to write each season 2 episode in one day each. The show would be terrible. But, we're going to be opening up with just a casual sort of opening Q&A just to get everybody warmed up, because I'm sure you guys have questions. I'll say some stuff about the future of the show. We've got a silly little Among Us themed thing I wrote a while back on Twitter that people really liked. So we're going to read that with voices because that was a popular request. And then a couple more questions, and then we are going to read a 30-page long skit, because initially, if you're wondering how this panel came to be, Yomakan asked me about it like a week ago if I wanted to do this, and I was in the middle of So This Is Basically Crunch Time, making So This Is Basically Trails of Cold Steel, which you can go watch on my YouTube channel. And as it was making a video, Civ and I were dying. So I basically had one day to put this together, and I was like, all right, it's gonna be Halloween weekend. Maybe I can grab, I don't know, 3 or 4 voice actors. I was like, guys, if you show up, I'll write a sketch for your character and we can do a fun staged reading of it. And I was expecting like 3 people to say yes, and everyone did. Just every single person. I literally didn't even get around to asking all the cast because I was like, let me just message this big group and then I'll grab those 3 and that'll be enough. But everyone showed up, which means that the short sketch I was going to write needed to include 16 characters. And I had 1 day to write it, which I did. So we've got that. We've got Epithet Erased episode 7.5. So first of all, to answer what I assume is going to be the biggest question, season 2 when? Answer, I still don't know. Because a lot of the entertainment industry didn't happen this year. And I only paid off season 1 in like September. So that's how expensive that was. I still have plans for it. My current working plan for the series as a whole is to kind of go the manga route instead of the anime. I'm going to be writing light novels for the rest of the series that are very lightly illustrated. And I would like to do audiobooks of them because I think the voice acting is an extremely important part of this show, and everyone who does the voice acting is really great at it. And that's where 90% of the charm comes from. So my plan is, now that I have nothing I'm working on aside from a show called Sweetwater, I'm going to start writing 2 books, which is the next storyline. That would have been season 2. And if I do get the money eventually, or another sponsor, like if for some reason Netflix is like, yo, this looks great. Civ is here, by the way. Thank you for letting me know, because for some reason Zoom decides that's not important enough to shoot me a notification for.
Well, do you have unlimited?
No.
Looks like you're not that invested.
I guess I'm not. Yeah, so we are going to be, or I'm going to be writing, it's going to be 2 books. The next story arc is going to be called Sugar Cookie Jazz. Essentially, the first book is about Molly. It starts off on that beach. It's Molly and her 2 friends, Phoenica and Trixie, who people who are familiar with the source material will know those characters. And Civ, are you here? Can you say words?
I am here. Can you hear me?
I can. So,
wonderful.
Perfect timing.
Hello.
This is Civ. Civ is the voice of Trixie Roughhouse, reprising her role from the original source material. And we're going to be hearing Civ a little bit in the script for the first time ever. So this is Trixie's unofficial, non-canonical debut. So other than saying poke him with a stick at the end of the show. So yeah, but season 2 is primarily a story about Molly, her 2 friends Trixie and Phoenica, new beach hobo they meet, Rick Shades, who does not have an official voice actor yet. He was originally played by my boyfriend Jay Barrett, who has told me he would rather I recast an actual actor in that role. And them and Giovanni go to the Blind Deaf Toy Emporium. The bad guy is Molly's older sister, Lorelai. And I won't give away more than that, but there's an arc with them. That's the first part. And then the second half of that story arc is a prison break story. And the main characters of that are Ramsey, Mara, and Indus. So they're the next party. And with guest appearances from as many other characters as I can put in. Obviously, the downside of it not being animated is it's not animated. But the upside of it being a book is I can throw as many lazy cameos in there as I want. So, seriously, when I'm sitting there writing an actual episode, I have to be like, God, if I include a character, I have to have someone draw them in like a new prison outfit. And that it's like $60 per pose. And a lot of dollars for the animation. But like if it's a book, it's like, yeah, Arnold and Bugsy can be in the prison. They can hang out. It doesn't matter. I can put in whoever I want. So that's the benefit. Civ, do you want to officially introduce yourself in any capacity since everybody else got to?
Okay, hi. Yeah, sorry. Let me. I'm gonna hold off on the muffins so I can turn on my cam. 1 second.
Civ is also, for people who
Sorry.
follow me on YouTube, Civ is the illustrator for So This Is Basically. So all of the drawings you see are Civ's. Hello.
Hello. I don't know how this is set up.
Aw.
Hey.
Hi. Hello. I'm sorry. Okay, we're going over here. Okay. Hi. Yeah, I'm Civ. I do the illustrations for the So's basically. I've been around since roughly the Stone Age. In Jello's circle, I guess. Not from the beginning. I am here through circumstance. I don't know what else to add. I draw.
Yeah. That's good. You got
that's
it.
Basically it.
All right. So if we want to kick things off, do we want to go ahead and read that Among Us thing for all of the people who are involved in that, which is, let me open it up. Yeah, let's open it with Chrome side computer that apparently doesn't know how to open a PDF. Wow. That's really impressive. It really doesn't know how to open a PDF.
I could give you the list. It's Molly, Giovanni, Sylvie, Percy, Ramsey, Zora, Mara, Indus, and Yumta.
All right. I will be playing Yumta, who is the little electric gremlin. She gets a cameo in this. All right. So for those of you who don't, I don't know how you would not know what Among Us is at this point.
At this point.
I don't know how you'd be on this part of the internet and not know what Among Us is, but it's a game about small beings in space. One or more of whom are trying to kill the others, and some are usually suspicious or sus. So, we'll go ahead with this. There is one imposter among us.
Sylvie presses the emergency button. Pink is faking tasks.
I am not.
You were standing still in the laboratory for 30 seconds straight.
I'm trying to Google what kind of dinosaurs are in these fossils.
I don't think we have enough evidence to vote for anyone yet.
I concur. Let us skip.
No one is ejected.
Giovanni presses the emergency button. Okay, so reverse Google image search says that this is in fact a cartoon and does not in fact match up with real fossil records.
Tasks.
Can we get that again? It ate you.
Shut up and let us do tasks.
Purple sus.
Nice try, pee-pee boy. Indus saw me do trash shoot.
This is true. I did indeed see her shoot trash.
That they're both imposters.
Sylvie, there's only one imposter this round.
LMAO, bye, kid.
Wait, no!
Sylvie is ejected. Sylvie was not the imposter. Oh, this is two of you. So Ramsey and Zora both rush to press the emergency button. Ramsey gets there first.
Zora!
Ramsey is the imposter.
Zora's been chasing me the entire game and is clearly trying to kill me.
Well, I just like watching you run, rat boy. Also, I saw Ramsey come out of the vent.
What? You liar! You did not!
Did too.
Did not!
Did too. Sus. Big rat sus.
Ramsey, is it true? Are you indeed sus?
I've been looking at the security cameras for half the game, and the other half, Zora's been chasing me!
Well, Indus and I were right by security when the button was pressed, and I didn't see you there.
That's because I'm the one who pressed the button!
Don't yell at me. Indus, vote red.
Yes, Lady Mira.
What?
Ramsey was ejected. Ramsey was not the imposter. Zora hits the emergency button.
Hold up. Yumta, where have you been all game?
I finished all my tasks. I'm just running around.
Already?
Yeah.
We just started. How is that even possible? Half the game has been emergency meetings.
How do you do the card minigame? I do not understand.
You can do it if you know how to zoom. Doing all the tasks is so much easier when you're the imposter because you can use the vents, and also the imposter has no tasks.
How do you use the vent in the card minigame? What?
Wait, hold on. Yellow said she saw Ramsey vent, but he wasn't the imposter.
Can I curse?
No.
Oh yeah, I lied, LMAO. I hate that rat fart.
Goodbye.
Zora was ejected. Zora was not the imposter.
Percy hits the emergency button. Miss Purple, I fear I have grown suspicious of you. You have been quite eager to vote off many of our compatriots, but... Sorry, character limit. But none of them were the imposter. Why is this?
Are you serious? Indus already said he saw me do trash. I'm clear.
Visual tasks are turned off.
Yes, Lady Mira privately messaged me to tell me that everyone that I saw her do the trash.
Treason and cussing. It seems your crimes are numerous indeed.
Not that numerous.
Mara was ejected. Mara was not the imposter. My bad, Anthony. I fucked up. Yumta presses the emergency button immediately.
How's everybody doing?
Yumta was ejected. Yumta was not the imposter. Indus presses the emergency button.
Please. Please vote me off. I have failed Lady Mira. I could not protect her. It is only right that I should follow her out in the airlock.
I can respect that.
Miss Blind Deaf, you are the only one of us. You are the only one of us left with an emergency meeting. Please, after we vote for Mr. Tarbella, vote me off.
Why? After Mr. Barrier, there will only be 3 of us left. If we vote it down to 2, the imposter will win.
Among Us is merely a game. The imposter changes each round, and their crimes have no true consequence. I, however, am a detective. A real one. It is my job to solve crimes and uncover criminal activity. Yet under my watch, I have Sorry, character count. Under my watch, I have sent several innocents out into the merciless vacuum of space. I am not fit to wear this badge. The only imposter here is me.
ACAB.
Indus was ejected. Indus was not the imposter. Percy was ejected. Percy was not the imposter. Molly was the imposter.
I'm so mad! She didn't even kill anyone! See? It's just like what I'm always saying. Y'all need to get more comfortable with shooting children. Vindication for Zora. I'm the real winner.
And then in the original Twitter post, there was a note that said, I imagine that Zora is the only person who ever kills Molly when she is the imposter. So that when Molly's body is found, everybody immediately knows it's Zora. And on that note, part 2. Molly's body has been found.
Can I get a link to this? Just...
I
don't have a link to this.
It's a download.
Rip.
Yeah.
LMAO, Zora.
Zora.
Vote Zora.
You better travel alone.
Wow. Wow. Okay. I get it. No one else but me ever has the balls to kill the bear cub in this game. And now, after I spend so much time trying to normalize child murder, someone else finally does it to frame me. I respect it. I respect the hustle. I really do. But I want whoever did this to know that once I'm voted out, I am going to haunt you. I will stalk you to the ends of the earth. Every time you feel a cold breath on your shoulder, every time you feel eyes on the back of your neck, that's me. And I'm not talking about the game. I will hunt you down in real life. I will remember. And if you're not sorry now, you will be.
Zora, everyone else voted like 10 minutes ago. Just go already.
Zora votes Ramsey. Zora was the imposter.
LMAO, Zora.
What is your problem?
Seriously, why do you always kill Molly?
At least change it up and don't kill her first every time.
Karmic balance! None of you ever kill her. The imposter can never win because no one kills her and everyone finishes tasks. And when she's the imposter, nobody ever votes her off. She weaponizes her cuteness and always wins. It's bull blink.
I'm sorry.
Bear Trap, don't apologize to this stink lady.
She doesn't even kill anyone. It's just sabotage wins with O2 and bleeping tea parties in the reactor.
I just don't like killing people. I'm sorry. I'll just try harder next time. It's just, there's already been so much death in my life.
Oh, MG.
Wow, Zora.
This has gone too far.
See? This is exactly the bull hunky I'm talking about. My mom's dead too, but you don't see me painting it on a flag and waving it around for pity points. I know what you're doing. I see you.
Molly DMs Zora.
Prove it.
Molly deletes her messages.
You little snake, I will destroy you.
Miss Salazar, why are you being so mean to me?
I will squish your cosmic brownie butt into the dirt.
Guys, Zora just DM'd me. What does this mean?
Send screen cap.
Zora!
Yay. Okay, that's the whole thing.
I applaud you, Don, for your on-the-spot censorship.
I could never.
Very good.
Nice. That was excellent.
Beautifully done.
All right. Yeah, so that's a solid warm up. I was gonna do Q&A, but do we just kind of want to run right into the long read because we're already here in read mode? Let's say why not? Why kill the momentum? Let's see if this PDF wants to open for me or if I have to re-download it. Let's find out.
Everyone get
Oh yeah,
ready.
I got it. All right.
Civ, do you have
That
this one?
script.
Is this the PDF you sent
Yeah.
last night? Yes, I
Yeah,
will.
it
I will
is.
find this.
Chunky
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
You big boy.
So, out of kindness to the actors, I will read stage directions. That was probably the most difficult part of the initial version of this, was finding any way to do the out loud said as actor stage directions, like Giovanni struts around, because there's no way to do it and make it consistent formatting, and everyone was confused about it. So this time I'm just reading all of those. You don't need to worry about it.
Does Civ need the updated version, or are we?
No. The updated version only has 2 or 3 lines at the ending. The only people who need that are Kyle, you, and Jordan. You have a meow. You might, you don't need it. I think you can figure it out, but if you want it. Am I enjoying this app, the PDF reader? Does anyone sit in a PDF reader and go, God, I love this? No, I'm good.
Out of all
PDF reader.
All right, is everyone ready? Does everyone have this open?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Emily, are you joining?
Here.
Up to you guys.
Yeah,
Emily, you should, because your character, the character you'd be playing, interacts with Mara.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Makes life a little easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So Emily, you will be stonk.
That's in real life.
I tried to differentiate stink and stonk by putting exclamation points after Stink's name, so it's a little.
Any exclamation points?
Stink is the 5-star poll version of stonk. All right. So yeah, this is not a canonical episode of Epithet Erased.
Oh.
But the characters will act in the way they would act in these circumstances, and I have grabbed some ideas from a hypothetical season 2 or the future books and put them in here. So it's kind of a tasting board. All right, so interior, Blind Deaf Toy Emporium, day. Oh, this episode is called Tooloween, by the way. Lights up on the Blind Deaf Toy Emporium. We see Molly sitting at a tiny plastic table on top of one of those top-down street map rugs. You know the ones. She is sorting a pile of mail into smaller sub-piles and mumbles to herself.
Bill, junk, Bill. Huh? What's this?
She picks a blood-red envelope out from the pile. It has been sealed with wax. Molly cuts open the envelope. Inside is a ridiculous-looking jet-black letter. The words scream out at her in bright firefly yellow glow-in-the-dark ink. The letter has spider decorations and glitter all over it. The glitter falls onto the carpet, ruining it forever. Molly looks over the letter, and we hear Giovanni's voice narrate.
Greetings, ghouls and ghosts. To all those receiving this hallowed invitation, you are cordially invited to an exclusive party for only the coolest of dudes. The most spectacular extravaganza of the season.
Molly looks up from the letter.
Halloween was yesterday.
Halloween was yesterday. you may say. Well, think again, mortal. This is no mere Halloween party. Everyone expects Halloween on October 31st, but true terror comes when people least expect it, when they think that the danger has passed, which is the scariest time to host a surprise party. It's on November 1st! You are hereby invited to Halloween! The party will be held tonight at 8 p.m. in an old abandoned house on the outskirts of town. Costumes are mandatory! Also, please bring a snack or refreshment to share. No peanuts or peanut products. Some of our ghoulish guests have spooky allergies. Ooh. In the spirit of Halloween, you are allowed to bring 2 guests. So long as they are also cool dudes. See you there. Signed, your mysterious host.
Oh, it's from Boss. That was nice of him. I never get invited places. Plus, I didn't get to trick or treat this year because I was working. I wonder who I should invite to my I wonder who I should invite as my +2. Trixie's one, but Feeney's had to leave town for the season since she's scared of Halloween decorations.
Molly takes out her phone, opens the group text, and begins to text Trixie. She begins to text Sylvie, but then stops.
Oh, right. I can't text him. He doesn't like having old people judge him for being on his phone all the time like other kids, so he bought a landline.
Molly calls Sylvie. The screen splits and Sylvie appears on one side. He is sipping tea at a coffee table and picks up a rotary phone.
Hello, you've reached the office of Dr. Sylvester Ashling. How may I help you?
Hi, Sylvie?
Oh, Margaret! It's been too long!
Huh? No, it's Molly.
I know, Sorry, I was trying to be formal as a joke. Isn't Molly short for Margaret?
I wish.
Well, what is it short for?
It's... my full name is Molly Wad... My full name... Sorry. My full name is Molly Wally Doodle all the way blind out.
Are you joking?
It's on my birth certificate. My dad wanted his kids to have unique names that no one else had, so my mom picked our nicknames and our dad extended them out to our full ones. My sister's full name is Laura Linebacker Blindeff.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay. So, why are you calling? Sounds like you could use those therapy sessions I offered.
No, things always sound like that. I'm still poor.
I told you I'd do it for free.
I'm also still haunted by the guilt I feel at the thought of imposing on my friends. And that haunting keeps going even after Halloween. I called because Giovanni's having a party.
Oh, a Halloween party?
Kind of. I didn't go trick-or-treating, so...
Oh, me neither. Trick-or-treating is for little kids, right?
Well...
I mean, who wants to go run around squabbling for candy? I stayed at home doing adult things like watching the news and eating raisins. Besides, I'm far too busy for Halloween. I have a lot of clients lined up.
Sylvie tenderly runs his hands along the pages of a day planner. All of them are blank.
Oh, that's a shame. I had a +1 to the party and I wanted to invite you.
I can come.
Huh? I thought you said you were busy.
I mean, who knows what that Giovanni guy's really up to, right? He's a criminal. And throwing a party the day after Halloween? That's pretty suspicious.
It's a Tulaween party, actually.
Yeah, that's totally different. I could go to that. Also, what?
Okay, great. We also need costumes and snacks, though. And I don't have any.
Oh, I don't either. I could drive you to the store.
You can drive?
I'm 15. I have a learner's permit.
Do you have enough hours to legally be able to drive a passenger yet?
I have a bus pass.
Oh, me too. Okay, what store?
The graveyard shift has a pretty good selection of costumes, and they're not very expensive.
I thought you didn't do Halloween. Why do you know about a costume store?
It's for therapy stuff. I don't dress up my sheep in baby-sized costumes and then play D&D with them. You do that. You're breaking out.
I thought you were on a landline.
It's a mobile landline. I invented it. I attach it to my belt and rock around with the extension cords in my pants.
What?
Okay, bye.
Sylvie hangs up. He then begins to awkwardly place the rotary phone onto a clip on his belt. It is heavy and looks extremely awkward. Sylvie's half of the screen blacks out. Molly looks at her phone. Trixie has responded to her text. Her icon is a little crow. Molly's is a little bear. Phoenica offline is a sheep.
Hey, are you around?
Yes, sirree, Bob.
I got invited to a party by that boss guy I was telling you about from the museum. Do you want to come? It's at a haunted house?
What? Isn't he old? Is that okay? Is the house actually haunted, or did you just say that to get people to go, lol? Okay, I will go. How we get?
We bussin'. Don't worry, I have a chaperone. It's that sheep doctor I was telling you about.
Feeney's out of town, though.
No, this is the sheep guy I met at the museum.
Oh, Feeney's future husband. Okay. I will come and evaluate him for husband material.
You will say no.
What?
Oh, we are going to the costume store. Do you need a costume?
Can I just lie and say I'm dead inside? I only got like $12. Shrug emoji.
Me too. Laughing, crying emoji. Actual crying emoji. We'll work something out.
Oh, I got it. We can be two halves of the same worm, split apart and just wiggle.
Phoenica is typing.
Big city Beanica, you better bring us back a souvenir. Souvenir?
Typos.
Stuff.
I don't think she's going outside. She's too scared of the Halloween decorations.
Okay, so that's a lie, right? Like, she's a spy or something, I bet. Important rich people schemes.
Yes, I will buy you gifts. Oh, so rude, I am right here!
Pure, puffy, fast, custom sheep emoji. Puffy face is what I meant.
Right here, spying. The spy is right here. Get her!
I'm calling the police.
Phoenica is typing. 30 seconds pass.
There is no answer. I killed the cops.
No! Okay, we are coming to pick you up.
Oh! Now! Let me get my stuff in case this boss, Honcho Handman, is telling the truth about the house.
Cut to interior graveyard shift costume store evening. Inside of a hokey Halloween costume store. Halloween has already passed, so the store is mostly deserted. Ramsey, Mara, and Indus stand in the costume aisle. All three of them are wearing cartoon-striped inmate outfits, like the Hamburglar. They are accompanied by Percy, who watches over them.
I must say, Ramsey, it was quite kind of you to invite these two as your additional guests to this Halloween party. They don't get many chances to go outside the prison.
Yeah, well, they saw me reading the invite and they told me they'd beat me to tar out of me if I didn't make them my +2. So, you know.
That's not true. I said that Indus would beat the tar out of you.
It is a kindness. No one should have tar inside of them. It is not very tasty.
The invitation specified that the three of you will need costumes for entry. I hope you realize that this is a fine chance to show your society how much you've reformed. It will avail you nothing to pick an adulterous costume, such as...
Percy leans and picks up two nearby costumes and appraises them with scornful eyes.
Sexy mustard. Or skeleton. Really now? A skeleton moving around without the necessary muscles and ligaments? Ridiculous.
She puts the costumes down.
As your probation officer, I will set an example of an acceptable costume. Something that promotes Halloween fun, but not too much fun.
Percy looks around. She sees a lone boot on the ground.
Ah, perfect.
She picks the boot up and balances it on her head.
Percy, what are you doing?
I am the gum caught underneath someone's shoe. It is a harmless, silly costume designed to promote unadulterated mirth and japerment. Ha. Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha. Oh no. Perhaps this is promoting too much mirth. I can hardly maintain my composure. Perhaps I shall find an alternate costume while checking in on my 4th charge. Feel free to make your selection while I'm gone.
Percy exits with the shoe still on her head. The other 3 begin rifling through the costumes left on the shelf. Ramsey immediately grabs a pirate costume and puts it on, complete with eye patch and shoulder parrot.
Hey, yo ho ho! Booty, good enough.
Not much of a selection. I'm so tired of stripes. I wanted to wear something pretty for once.
Oh, but Lady Mira, you are always pretty, no matter what you wear.
Shut up, Intis!
Ramsey slides in like an italicized meerkat.
Oh. Oh.
What?
Oh, I see. I see what's going on here.
I don't think you do, Cyclops.
She grabs the eye patch on his costume and covers his good eye with it.
I cover my eye all you want.
Ramsey pops his golden eye out of its socket. It rolls along his arm and he catches it in his hand so that it's looking at Mara.
I can still see you blushing.
Ew! To both your eye and your fluff.
She knocks the eye out of his hand. He juggles it in the air and nearly fails to catch it.
Well, it's not blush, really. More like purple. Hey, can I ask why you're purple? Is that cool? I do art commissions, and let me tell you, there's a whole subgenre of people who are way into purple. Usually their characters are more of the blueberry persuasion in terms of shape, but hey, I don't judge.
Stop talking. Shut up.
Mara takes his shoulder parrot and shoves it in his mouth. She looks around conspiratorially.
Do commissions?
Uh-huh.
Like drawing commissions?
Oh, no.
How much?
She takes the parrot out of his mouth.
Why? You want me to draw you some himbos?
She shoves the parrot back in his mouth and whips around to see if Indus heard that. Indus has picked up a child-sized pumpkin costume and upturned it, dropping all the contents onto the floor. He places the empty plastic wrap on his head.
Look, Lady Mira, I'm a bag!
All I asked was how much.
He spits the parrot out.
Well, it depends what you're buying. And remember, like I said, I don't judge. You got a persona?
What?
Ramsey has already produced a sketch pad from somewhere and started drawing.
You know, persona. Like, maybe I take this big guy. I think he said he used to have a barrier epithet. Barrier. Great Barrier Reef. Bam! Making him a clownfish. Draw you some big, muscly clownfish man with no shirt on.
No! If you draw a clownfish, you get nothing.
Man, you're prickly. I'm gonna make you a little purple sea anemone because you hurt me.
Sea anemones don't have prickles. They have tentacles. You're thinking of sea urchins.
Tentacles? Well, that's gonna cost extra.
What? No! Shut up! I am not a sea anemone. Damn it! I am an adorable Arctic fox named Gwennifer, and you will not make this up!
He shows her the drawing.
Clownfish. Oh.
She takes the drawing and holds it out, examining it from multiple angles. We see the drawing. Give me a second.
You have this? You...
So I commissioned Bo. No! I got a drawing. I'll post it in chat for you guys to see if Twitch wants to communicate. I'm sure this looks awesome. There you go.
That's going too fast, no!
Oh, it's so fast.
Just unpause the stream for a
Oh
second.
my god!
It looks like a really good commission of Indus, and then you just like trace the goldfish pattern. Goldfish.
She's nestled Right there in the middle.
Betwixt the pecs.
She takes the drawing and holds it out, examining it from multiple angles. We see the drawing. Indus has been rendered as a huge man with rippling muscles, but his head is a cartoony clownfish. He is cradling an extremely tiny purple sea anemone with angry eyebrows, gingerly protected between his pecs.
That's pretty good, actually.
Uh-huh.
Suddenly, Stink and Skullshirt Kid, hereafter known as Stonk, run through the aisle with armfuls of toilet paper. They smash into Mara, causing her to drop the drawing.
Insolent child noises.
Yeah! Watch it! I'm looking at fish tits!
The camera follows Stink and Stonk as they skid into the next aisle over, giggling. In the next aisle, we see Molly and Trixie shopping for costumes. Sylvia's presumably somewhere elsewhere in the store. The Stink duology scramble up to them.
Hey, look! It's chocolate and strawberry.
Stink, stunk. You going TP-ing?
As if.
Yeah, nobody TPs on November 1st. Today is Prime Cocooning Day.
Prime what?
Wow, she doesn't even know what cocooning is.
Wow, poggers.
Dude, you can't just say poggers whenever you feel like it. Words mean things.
Words are a malleable tool of language used to convey complex thought, and I will mally them as I see fit.
Okay, I'm not having this debate with you again.
Mally-oop!
Shut up, Butt Munch 1 and 2. She doesn't speak Goblin. Cocooning is like, okay, so you go to a house that's already been TP'd, and then you disguise yourself by wrapping yourself up in toilet paper, and then when the person inside the house comes out to clean the toilet paper, you sneak past them and steal any leftover candy they still have.
That sounds like a crime.
Yeah, mad candy.
Poggers.
There you go.
What are you cootie snoots looking at over here anyways? Objects? Ha! Got 'em!
Not that it has anything to do with you wet band-aids, but we're looking for costumes for a party. We've only got like $20, so we have to look in the bargain bin.
Hang on, I have an idea. You guys do pranks and stuff, right?
Maybe. What are we talking, like shenanigans?
Hijinks?
Goofs?
Gaffs?
We dabble.
We dab.
They dab.
Stop.
Well, if you like pranking people, maybe I can interest you in this.
She reaches into her backpack and pulls out an empty jar.
What is that, a jar?
Nope, it's what's in the jar.
What is it? A fart? A fart in a jar? A jart? Classic gaff, bro, but my name is literally Stink. I'm a human jart. I'm gonna pass on that gaff.
Nuh-uh, it's cooties.
Stink and Stonk look at the jar, then at each other.
I don't see anything.
That's because cooties are invisible. Only girls can see them. But once you get them on you, they never come off.
Nuh-uh, you're making stuff up.
Wanna see?
Molly takes a step forward and moves to open the jar. Stink and Stonk take a step back reflexively.
Man, my sister always joked about cooties before, but I've never been able to catch any.
Think of all the highs we could jink with an entire jar of them. How much?
$20.
I don't know.
If you buy them right now, I'll throw in a jar of my cooties too. Just $10 extra.
Nice try. You're non-binary. Only girls have cooties.
Yeah, what do you think we are, stupid?
I'm a girl sometimes.
Trixie doesn't just have cooties. She uses multiple pronouns, so she's got them, they cooties too. Thooties.
Thooties.
Thooties are rarer than cooties, though. They're like $100 rare. We can't just give them away like that.
Are thooties more powerful than cooties?
Way more powerful. They're also known as non-binary cooties. NB cooties. Booties, for short.
I want the booties.
Yeah, how much?
I don't know. Trixie, what do you think?
$40 for booty.
I was thinking 50, but I can name higher numbers if they take too long to say yes.
Okay, here. I think we got $50 altogether.
Stink and Stonk huddle and combine their allowances.
This is only $42. Can we give you the rest at school on Monday?
That's fine. Pleasure doing business with you.
Stink and Stonk exit. It ate you. Can we get that again?
I'm gonna throw up from laughing.
Sylvie enters. He is wearing a bizarrely shaped chunk of foam, like a scrungled puzzle piece over his torso, as though it is a sandwich board sign.
I got my costume.
Trixie falls over.
What are you?
I'm the scariest thing I could think of. The Electoral College. I wasn't sure how to represent it visually, so I cut out some foam in the shape of a gerrymandered voting district.
The electoral... Oh, we learned about that in history class. That's weird, that old voting system we used to have that didn't work, right?
Yeah, it skewed elections based on land size instead of actual voters.
Wow, that does sound scary. I'm glad we got rid of it.
Me too.
Sylvie and Molly stare at the camera for 5 seconds. Cut to interior, front of the store.
By Brendan Glaber.
Shut up. Interior, front of the store. Ramsey and his group walked up to the cashier and put a small stack of costumes and candy in front of the register.
Miss Police Officer, I have a request.
What is your request, Mr. Tarbella?
Next time we are shopping for costumes, could we please stop by the Pretty Lady store? Lady Mara wishes to buy pretty lady items to accentuate her beauty. But the only thing we could find here was this wand of sparkles.
He holds up a glittery sparkle wand that could hypothetically be used by a pretty lady.
Well, you are a model prisoner, Indus. I will take note of this. Next time, we shall visit the Pretty Lady store.
You two are cuties.
For anything in my ear in that voice again, and I'll rip your nose off.
Yeah, all right. Hey, buddy, you good to go?
Ramsey puts a stack of costumes on the conveyor belt. The cashier turns around, and it turns out to be Arnold. His mouth is smiling, but his eyes are not.
Hello, valued customer. I am legally required to greet you with a smile and ask you how your day is going.
Whoa, coupon guy. Aren't you supposed to be in jail?
We have him working retail as part of his rehabilitation.
Yeah, that's basically the same thing.
It's true. Oh, Lord, it's true. Being on the side of the conveyor is torture. Seeing all these pedestrian fools make purchases without the slightest consideration for their wallet. Not one coupon. And what's worse, when I hand them their receipts with the savings at the bottom, they don't even look. They just toss them away right into the bin.
There are coupons on the bottoms up store receipts?
Oh, I hate customers. I hate them so much.
Sylvie peeks his head out from the next aisle.
Hey, cashier! This self-checkout's broke. It won't let me buy this giant bag of Halloween raisins.
I am a convicted man, but that guy is allowed to walk around free.
Cut to exterior outside the party house night. The outside of a spooky Halloween party. We see a spooky house in the middle of the woods. Lights are bopping and the house is hopping. I wrote this at 3 a.m. Percy's police cruiser pulls up first. Percy, Ramsey, Indus, and Mara exit the car. Mara is dressed as a fairy. Indus is wearing a Finding Nemo outfit that is much too small for him. He has somehow lost his shirt. Percy still has a boot on her head. The group approaches the door. Darkstar is standing outside with a guest list. He is dressed as Giovanni. As are all the other bonsai blasters inside the party.
Ramsey Murdoch?
Let's see here. Yep. Which one of you are the +2?
That would be us.
Whoa, hold on. No nudity allowed in this party. Sorry, sexy Nemo. You'll either have to stay outside or put on a shirt.
Well, he's not putting on a shirt.
I am allergic to all fabrics.
Well, then he has to stay out here. Sorry.
You know, You remind me an awful lot of someone I once beat into submission and left unconscious on the cold museum floor.
Point taken. Go inside, sexy Nemo and mean Dory.
The three inmates enter. Percy steps forward.
Hold on, ma'am. You're not on the list.
I'm their parole officer. I am legally obligated to follow those three.
Laws. Huh. I don't know. Let me get my manager. Hey, boss!
Giovanni enters from inside carrying a candy apple. He is dressed as all of his boys and has a crudely drawn mask of each of their faces wrapped around his neck. He occasionally switches them as he walks around the party.
What's going on here?
This lady says she's obligated to go in with that last group of guests.
Whoa! A police officer! Now that's a scary costume. I'd say that's scary enough to bypass a rule or two.
You are mistaken. I am dressed as the filth that accumulates under one's boot if not properly cleaned for an extended period of time.
Same difference. Go in.
Percy is confused, but goes inside anyway. Sylvie's group pulls up next. Molly and Trixie get out. Trixie is dressed as a neon Skellebones. Molly is wearing a second bear costume on top of her bear hoodie. She skips over to Giovanni. They hug.
Bear Trap! You made it! Oh, how's my #1 minion doing?
A tear forms in Darkstar's eye.
You're what?
I'm great, boss. Oh, this is my best friend, Trixie.
Trixie and Giovanni look at each other. There is a shock of recognition on their faces, then understanding, followed by identical, unreadable neutral expressions.
Oh.
Do you two know each other?
Well, if it isn't Giovanni Potage, the disaster of ceremonies.
Yeah, well, joke's on you. That title is actually awesome, and I am going to steal it for non-ironic future use. What are you doing here, String Bean? I thought Genus Dorcas Malorcas was allergic to awesome parties. Unless you came here for a lethal dose in order to turn yourself into a ghost. In which case, respect.
If you must know, I happen to be the +1 of 1 Molly Wally Doodle All Day Blind Death.
Literally who? Oh, no, wait, Bear Trap. Did you actually invite this clown?
You said I could bring 2 friends.
No, look at the invitation. I said you could bring 2 cool friends.
Oh, it does say that. He's got you there.
I'm plenty cool enough for this party.
Not sure how that's possible unless you stood in a meat locker for a few hours before walking over here.
Hey! Oh!
Not how I pictured that being read. Darkstar extends his hand and Giovanni low fives it without even turning around.
What is that? Is that a bag of raisins? We asked for candy.
Raisins are the candy of the forest.
Who are you, my grandpa? Raisins are stink grapes that God left on the ground to die. What are you, some kind of vegetable lich?
Grapes are a fruit, you knuckle dragger.
Yeah, a fruit. Ipso facto, not a candy.
You're literally eating a candy apple right now!
Giovanni looks down at his candy apple.
So I am.
Oh my god, that was perfect. He begins waving it at Sylvie as though he's a wizard failing to cast a spell.
What are you doing?
You're a doctor, right? I thought if I waved this apple at you enough, you might go away. Bear Trap, Trixie, you two go inside and handle the party. Darkstar, sort this guy out. He can come in when he's got better candy, a better attitude, and a costume that doesn't look like a dog chewed up a piece of a jigsaw puzzle.
With pleasure, boss.
Giovanni ushers Trixie and Molly into the party, though Molly is hesitant to go. Sylvie begins seething with orange steam.
Oh, you want a costume? I'll give you a costume. There's a question mark there. And it threw me off. I'll give you a costume. And if candy isn't good enough, then why don't we substitute?
Sylvie passes out, then explodes into Dr. Beefton.
Because that sounds gross. And if you think my fear of ghost minotaurs outweighs my fear of eating a raisin, then I'm afraid you're sadly mistaken. Put up your dukes!
We hear the sounds of Cyrus Rhodas battling himself to death outside. The battle fades away as we cut to interior party night. The old abandoned house is decked out with spooky cobwebs and glowy glow lights flashing orange, green, and purple. The secondary colors. Primary colors are not allowed at Halloween. Ramsey is singling and mingling in his pirate costume, having a pretty good time. Then he hears a languid voice from behind him.
Ahoy, poop dick.
The camera pans around to reveal Zora lounging on a rotted old couch.
Zora, what the hell are you doing here? Why would the kids invite you?
Oh, he didn't. I was squatting here in this abandoned house, rolling around in my filth when I decided to take a nap. Then I woke up, and there was a party going on. Gave me one hell of a fright, let me tell you. For a second, I thought it was the peyote hadn't worn off yet, but...
You're not allowed to be here.
Sure I am. Squatter's rights, hombre. And if we're going by squatter's rules, I'm a land baron.
That's not what I mean. You're not wearing a costume.
Sure I am. I'm a cowboy.
Oh, I see. So what you're saying is that's a costume, which means that normally you're not a real cowboy.
Zora grabs him by the collar.
What the flip did you just say to me?
Percy, help! Zora's bullying me!
What's going on here?
Percy enters. She walks in a bizarre, perfectly upright fashion so that she doesn't disturb her head boot. It looks less like she's walking and more like she's a static image being dragged across the screen.
It's Zora! Zora's back!
Who, me? What? Good sir, I'm not Zora Salazar. This is simply a Zora Salazar costume purchased from the Stora Salazar, where they sell costumes of pretty ladies.
The Pretty Ladies store. I'm familiar. The costume even includes the smell of tumbled weed and bodied odor. I must say, your outfit is a dead ringer. But I do hope you're not putting my friend through the ringer. Carry on.
She exits! What? The camera follows Percy. We hear Ramsey howling off screen. He's probably dead now. I don't know. Percy does not know how to act. Percy does not know how to act or what to do at a party, so she drags herself forwards in a straight line like a forklift until she comes to something she finds interesting. There is a person in a large, round mascot costume dressed as a bee. The bee person is nearly 7 feet tall. There is a large clearing around them, as though no one can get close. The bee seems to sense Percy, and it slowly pivots towards her, lifeless Google eyes turning like twin beams of a lighthouse to gaze upon her. Percy narrows her eyes.
I'd know that aura anywhere. Howard?
The bee person reaches up and grasps the edge of their mascot head. They twist it like an airlock and slowly remove it as though it is an astronaut helmet. Steam hisses out of the gaps and rises off of his body from his raw power.
Ursurella.
He looks her up and down. His eye fixates on the shoe on her head.
What are you supposed to be? The imperial system of measurement?
They both laugh simultaneously and mirthlessly.
Ha. Jape complete.
Jape accepted.
They shake hands once.
I never expected to see you here. In a party, of all places. Slacking off?
Huh. 2 japes in one conversation? This really must be a party. Not that I'd know. It's true. I don't normally partake in parties. But I heard tell this one's being held in a spooky abandoned mansion on the outskirts of town. Figured the place was condemned. Figured there was no way it'd be up to code. So I came on down to take a look. Turns out I was right. So I fixed it.
Why are you standing in the middle of the room like that? Is this Party action?
I'm listening. Listening to the sounds of people's weight on the floor, their movements against the wood, their heartbeats against the house. You hear that sound?
She listens.
I do not.
Exactly. Structural integrity.
I'm surprised you were able to procure a costume on such short notice.
I own several costumes of you social animals. When I'm feeling blue, I like to look at them. Imagine what it'd feel like to be more like them. Perfect. Today I'm dressed as the majestic bee. I refuse to roleplay as any critter with a weaker work ethic than my own. Thus, the bee, other acceptable eusocial critters include ant, wasp, very specific species of shrimp. Unacceptable eusocial critters due to the rules of the venue include naked mole rat, as you cannot be allowed in this venue while naked. Unacceptable due to personal reasons, termites.
Due to their penchant for destroying wood, I take it?
Nah, their job might be antithetical to ours, but I respect the niche. Nah, I hate termites. They're a bunch of anti-union strike-breaking scabs!
Percy and Howie both nod, seeming to understand something. They say nothing and stand in silence for 10 minutes. Suddenly, an explosion! The doors fly across the room and howdy morning, the bartender from Redwood Run bursts in. He is buck naked and wielding a shotgun. His unmentionables are censored by a pixel blur like a Sims character.
Yo! Happy Halloween, everybody! It's him! The guy we made the no naked costumes rule for! Get him! Ain't naked? These pixels aren't an editing trick! Actually look like this all the time due to government experiment! Come on, cat! Let's party!
And that's it. Woo!
That was so much fun. Oh my gosh.
God.
I feel like I just did acid.
Feel this.
I just love William's booty.
Booty?
Yeah, booty.
My God.
Yeah, I don't have a segue out of that. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Most of the actual scripts went through anywhere from 3 to 8 revisions. That one had 1, so I hope you can see the difference.
God.
Oh,
God.
The proto episode of Epithet Erased.
Yeah.
I clearly didn't have the updated script, so I was
No.
like following along at the end. I'm like, yeah, and this is the end, and then like all hell broke loose.
Most people didn't need it, so I didn't ask you all to grab it. And I think that might have improved the experience as certain actors read along and you looked at the end of a page like, am I fucking crazy?
Remember that language, sir.
I said fucking with 2 Fs, so it's fine. Yeah, that's the end of that. I guess let's open this up to a Q&A. So if you've got any questions for anyone on the cast, I will try to moderate with this large number as possible. This has like a raise hand feature, right? How do you do that? Whatever. We can just physically raise our hands. It's fine. So if you have a question, it's always easier if there's like a thing to put in front of it so my eyes can actually see without glazing over. So if you can put the word quest in all caps with an exclamation point and then your question. Did Darkstar die? No. Do we get the Rough Houses? That's Trixie's extended family. I don't think even in the books we'd have time for them. So for those who don't know, Trixie has like 7 siblings, all of whom are equally characters. I think what I'm going to do is just give Trixie a trait where she's just like, this reminds me of a story of like ex-brother. And she, like Ellis in Left 4 Dead 2, who will just like bring out these wild... I just am going to do that for the Rough Houses. I think that's... Oh my God, there's so many of these. Okay.
There's over 1,000 people watching. Hi, guys.
Yeah, hello. That's insane.
Hello. I just saw
They're
one
all
that's
great.
a quest barrier.
Okay.
I like your style.
Oh my god. Wow, this is way more than I expected. Was that script automatically generated by an AI? I had an AI watch 1,000 hours of Epithet Erased, and then it wrote its own script.
That'd be phenomenal.
Oh man. Wow, this is like literally. I've never had a chat this chat before.
Chat.
Yeah, it's
The
going.
chattiest chat.
I saw a question I'd like to answer if that's okay with you.
Yeah, if any of you guys see something good, please just jump on it.
So I saw someone ask what the audition process was like, and considering that's the beginning of what was the production of Epithet, that seems like a pretty good place to start.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, Epithet was recorded at Sound Cadence Studios here in Texas. I was the casting director. That was me. So Jello sent me a dossier of several characters that needed to be cast. It was not all of the characters because many of them were reprising, as we all know. And then it went out to our entire talent pool, which at the time I would say was around 300 actors, maybe 400 actors. And people just read. And I believe, how many did I send you? Was it like top 6 or did I send you like full batches?
It was anywhere. I think you sent me like 20 something Giovanni's.
Yeah. So it was slightly whittled down to like kind of my top choices, but it was a decent enough amount that Jello got to make final pick out of several people. And simple as that. That's how we ended up with the excellent cast that you see here. And I'm very, very pleased with how this particular show's soundscape came together. I think it's really, really great. And then it sort of passed along the line to Jello and Emily, who then I didn't do any of the voice direction. I just watched the cast go, which was very great for me. I said this every time an episode got finished. I was like, man, you guys are doing all the hard work. I just get to watch the end product and enjoy it.
Yeah, you got to watch us shuffle around like zombies.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, will this be recorded? Yeah, I'll keep this as a highlight on my Twitch, and I'll actually do it, unlike that Borderlands 3 stream. Oops. Yeah. Someone asked, I have answered this on like Tumblr, how do contractions work as epithets? Canonically, the epithet universe does not speak English. They speak like a weird fantasy Esperanto where it's just words, but like, so any word that is like actually 2 words or is just 1 word in their language. So just imagine it that way. Is it possible that Ramsey is Giovanni's biological father? Probably not.
You think I have been with a woman?
He's kind of charming. I don't know.
Ouch. Hey, he's my character. I can say that.
Exactly. I'm like, how? Like,
That's fair.
wow.
It's true.
Yeah. Also, I will say, I will give precedent to questions that are like directed at certain voice actors because we have them, and I can always answer questions about lore and stuff. And oh my god, it's literally so fast. I can't even keep up with it. How's Sylvie holding up in the hospital? I think he gets better pretty quick. You didn't take any.
Imagine him being a pretty fast healer. I like the idea. Would Molly actually visit or nah?
She would visit, I think, at least once.
Oh yeah.
She would have like a little toy box or something, and he'd be like, "Ugh, toy. I mean, I love it. Thank you."
A new yo-yo.
What gender is Trixie? That's a question for Civ.
I'm back. Hi.
Hi.
Trixie is just generally non-binary. She uses she, her, or they, them, or even he, him pronouns. Primarily she, her, though. So Trixie's just Trixie.
Yeah. Oof, not gonna answer that one. that's bait. Okay, here's a fun one that I think everyone can answer, and while everyone's answering, I can like scab around for other ones. So, open question: if you could pick one other character to play, who would you pick? So, I guess just go in the same order we introduced ourselves. So, Marissa, Danny. I don't know if it's the same on everyone's screen, but
No.
Oh,
cool.
Well, that's a hard question because you've been teasing me with upcoming characters, and
All
now,
right.
my mind is
Existing characters
poisoned.
from season 1. then.
Existing characters. Probably Percy. Percy's really funny, but
Yeah.
I'll use this opportunity to tell a great little story. Sandra and I knew each other from before we were both voice actors.
Yeah.
We were cosplay friends when we were teenagers. So getting Sandra on that role was like pretty spicy. But that was the character where I was like, that seems fun. So I'd probably stick my flag on Percy if I was to pick one.
Danny, you would be next in this order.
Gosh, I don't know. Maybe Yumta. That's the electric one, right?
Yeah,
spicy pick.
I think you could be a good Yumta. I've also told this story multiple times. I always feel awkward when like fan artists, because people love drawing Yumta, which is great because she's one of my favorite characters who doesn't exist yet. And if she's the pink and green haired girl who shows up twice as a teaser. She is another member of the Bliss Ocean people with Zora. And I always feel awkward. People they tag me for fan art of her, and then they tag Sarah, who literally voiced like one Walla giggle of her. And I'm like, Sarah doesn't know who this character is, you guys. Like, we didn't even have art of Yumta. That it was just like, hey, we had you come in for some extras, and Walla and the blonde bonsai Heather. Can you come back and do this? And both a fun Sarah story and a good this is Yumta's personality story. I was waiting. She was doing a Walla session with some other people in the other studio at Sound Cadence, and I was waiting in the lobby for her to finish, and I was chatting with some people, and she suddenly sprints by, and the guy I was talking to, don't remember who it was, goes, "Oh, hey, Sarah," and she goes, "I'm pissing!" at full volume, and did not stop. And that's the energy. I was like, wow, she will be a perfect Yumta. And then in that same day, maybe I just saw her over telling this story on Twitter or something, but she was like, sometimes when I know my boyfriend's coming home, I'll just hide in a drawer for a while until he opens it and finds me.
Do you mean a cabinet?
Cabinet?
I don't know if I do, actually.
She's like,
she's just compacted like SpongeBob SquarePants.
I mean, she's small, but I don't know if she's that small.
She's baby.
Yeah. Anyone else have any? Justice would technically be next, but does anyone have any? Oh, I'd love to play this characters. I do have a few questions now. No? Nobody?
No. It can be so hard to. There you go. It can be so hard to stick your flag on a character when someone has already played them so well. You're like,
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh no.
Lindsay.
Cat.
You want to be Cat?
I think
I
I'm
wanted to
stuck
be the
between Ellie Morning
bartender.
and Zora.
Yeah.
Which one, Oliver?
I wanted to be the bartender.
Bartender.
The ability to pixelate your own body is an awesome ability. Great. I'll do that.
That's a superpower.
The bartender.
Crime.
The bartender and Bugsy had the most fun set of auditions to pick through because so many wildly different reads. Also, my vow for if I'm ever writing something and then get to cast it again is I saw, because Marissa would send me these in batches, and for like the extra characters like Bugsy and the bartender, there were so many fun silly reads because it was just like dumb side character, be silly, and you usually see that kind of role for guys in audition sides as a voice actor, and I was like, I need to give more stupid extra girl parts in this because like even whenever I get audition sides for other projects, it's never like we've talked about this. It's always like you'll have like on the guy side, it's like giant puppet dragon, clown made out of ice cream, and then on the girls it's like sexy witch, sexy ghost, and it's like no, it needs to be
mustard.
Sexy mustard, skeleton
Mustard.
Oh man. Somebody asked what programs were used to make Epithet Erased. I believe all of the audio was done in I was about to say Source Connect. It was all done in Source Connect, right? I know what's going on.
Yeah, Unity.
Pro Tools.
Pro Tools.
Pro Tools. Yeah, Pro Tools is the same program that we record everything in at Sound Cadence.
Mm-hmm.
All the animes, all the video games, and all the prelay animation, all done in Pro Tools.
Yeah. We the production pipeline was I wrote everything, we cast everybody, and then we had to wait on contract hell for reasons, but I thought we were going to just get going. So I ended up sending Marissa and then Amber, who is another Sound Cadence person. It was like, look, and Civ. I was like, we got to have the audition sides right now. We're going to get going. Civ, draw me the characters right now.
Yes. Yes, that happened.
And I was like, you've got like 48 hours, go. And she's like, oh, okay. And we did. And then I did not, like, I literally was like, oh, I'll get the contract this week, they said. And then I didn't end up getting it for like 3 more months. So I ended up running Sound Cadence and Civ through the ringer. But after that, we recorded everything in Pro Tools, me and Emily. Everybody came in and did their sessions. After that, Emily and I sat and edited lines for, I think it was like on average 15 hours per episode, because it was 3 sessions each. And I was very particular. So Emily would just be editing and I would be over there like a vulture going, number 1, number 2, I need to listen to them 50 more times, Emily. And then I would like stalk the halls and look at the Ruby posters and go, one day there'll be an Epithet Erased poster on this wall. And there still isn't.
Yeah, because you haven't sent us one.
Look.
There will be. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining you had like a pipe while doing this.
Yeah.
Yes.
One day.
Yeah.
One day.
I really was just 1,000-yard stare marching up and down that hall to get blood moving.
Hands
during this.
behind your back.
I'm not
military
Aram.
style.
No. Yes. No, but we after that we had a weird pipeline because we were very crunched the entire project, which anyone on the production team can tell you. So we sent the finished audio to the animators who were all hired. I don't know if, by the way, I told everyone on the production staff this was happening. So if you're actually here and you worked on this, please say hi in the chat. Not that I'll probably be able to see you. It's going so fast, but hello if you're here. And I think we had like overall 8 or 9 different After Effects animators. They would edit with no sound effects for the first couple episodes. Then we would take the animated thing, smash it all together, which took a long time, send it back to Natalie, who is at the end of the production pipeline, and got the brunt of every single delay we had in the project. And I could not stop apologizing to her for that. And then she would have to rapid fire put on sound effects and then send it to me. And then I would go, no, do it again. And then she'd have to do it again.
Cool.
And yeah, no, I was just a mean bottleneck to everyone working on this project because that was my job. And then eventually, after the first 2 or 3 episodes, I went to Natalie and I was like, it's too slow with all of this narration, because there was way more narration in the initial scripts. Like, I think we ended up cutting most of Dr. Beefton's reads and most of Bugsy's reads because they had so much like, Beefton, lift something off the ground. And sometimes I was just like, we can just show that. It's too slow. But like sometimes we need it because we don't have the budget to do another portrait. So, you know, it was a lot of beach ball volleyballing back and forth. And then, and we used After Effects to animate it, which I also used that for my recent video. The last night of Epithet Erased, I think, Emily, we had to call you in twice because you were a sometimes animator. And for the last 2 episodes, After Effects takes a long time to render. It's a very powerful program, but very slow. And if you're rendering a hefty 4-minute thing of animation, I believe like at least once it took someone like 5 hours to render that. And if the render fails, that's another 5 hours you have to wait. So you would go from having everything ready to go to having nothing and suddenly being very close to the deadline. And the final night, we had every single person there going, pass me the files, I can render them on my computer, it's fine. Oh, mine broke. Okay, we'll split this one in half, I'll render the first half, you render the back half. And then like we'd get messages in the middle and someone would be like, you guys, my power has gone out. I am no longer able to help you. Good luck. And that's not hyperbole, that literally happened. And we got the last episode in, I think, 40 minutes to the deadline. It was rough. Can people say trans rights? I think we can just all say trans rights in a chorus.
rights.
Yeah, trans rights.
Trans rights.
Trans rights. I don't think we're gonna get any pushback on that in this group.
Let them try.
Beat you up. Have I ever considered making a tabletop version of Epithet Erased?
It's a good idea.
So there's a
You
system.
know, Jello. You know,
I think
Jello.
you're
I
onto
think you can
something.
you can make money off that.
I'm not going to.
Well, if it funds season 2.
I felt bad. People were like, "Oh, how many Molly dolls will we have to buy to fund season 2?" And I looked it up and I was like, "I don't know, 30,000." like something.
Done.
Like
Buy 2. they'll do it.
A lot.
You guys have friends and families, right? Christmas is coming up.
Yeah.
There you go.
10,000 people buy 3 Molly.
Oh, that's okay. That's a great question. What is and I can extend this to be a question for you guys as well. What are some future season character dynamics that I'm excited to have in the show? Very excited. Again, I only had one night to write this, but I am excited to get Ramsey Mara Indus because Ramsey Mara Indus is how those characters, or at least Ramsey, came into being. They were originally a party together, as was Trixie's older brother, who Dixon is he is gonna be a character, but he's in a very different role, and he might be the only other roughhouse who shows up. So I love the idea of every character by the end having their recurring antagonist. So Molly's is going to be her sister. Giovanni is kind of going to be opposite the main antagonist. And I love the idea that Zora hates Ramsey. Zora hates Ramsey so much. And the Bliss Ocean operative, who is Ramsey's diametric opposite, is not Zora. And Zora wants it to be her, and it's not. And instead, Percy's opposite is Zora, and Percy doesn't pick up that Zora's just like, I want to kill that rat. I want to beat him up. And Percy's just like, hello, I am Percy, and I'm going to stop you, Miss Salazar. Go away. So I'm excited for that. I love the idea of non-reciprocated recurring enemy, and whatever that like Lupin Zenigata, like arc rival. That's it. Yeah. Woo. Are Molly and Lorelai's full names canon? Yeah. No, that's real.
Buffer.
Ooh.
So much power, and that's what you use it for.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, I was gonna extend that to like and this might honestly inform how I write some things. If there's any characters you guys would love your character to interact with, who would that be? And let me know, because that's kind of the fun. That's why I want to do this as light novels, because I'm really inspired by Bakano, which is great.
I was gonna say. I was like,
I was reading it. I am Bakano trash because no one else is. Someone has to be. And I was reading it. And I was like, this is like literally the perfect format for this story. It's just like way too many characters. 90% of them are criminals. Just like being thrown into like a pachinko machine, and each book is them bumping into a different other character. So if there's anyone you'd really like to interact with, let me know. It's very possible that could happen.
so much power.
It is. It's a lot of power.
Cat. Me and the cat.
Yeah. Bring back the cat.
I think everybody
Full
needs their
episode
own
of,
cat
like,
arc.
You get it.
Yeah.
Cat's very own episode. Own life
Oh,
journey
yeah.
with the cat.
Just the entire time. Pay me money for that.
I like the light novel visual of that, where it's all this serious stuff happening. It's like, we need a breather. How's Giovanni doing with that cat?
Hold on a minute.
And it's just like 6 pages of.
Get over here.
Dang.
This episode.
Every time it cuts back, we get another character helping him. So like Arnold's also there, like, come on, there's great savings.
Someone's got a laser pointer.
I will build him the best cat house.
Just the weirdest people keep growing for this one cat.
The cat's the
If I
central
want this
character.
cat to like me, I'm gonna have to think like a cat.
The cat is like that mouse at the beginning and end of Bacano. He's just always there. Joe's face just, yeah.
Now I'm just thinking Epithet Erased Cat Cafe AU.
Oh my
god.
Oh
Epithet Erased Neko Atsume. Every cat is themed after an Epithet Erased character, and they visit your backyard.
Oh, really
Cats.
quick, since I'm good to keep streaming here, but our Yomicon time panel is basically up. We're almost at the hour. We have 2 minutes. So I'd like to plug Yomicon. You can go to their website right now. Well, thank you for having us, first of all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a couple years since I have done any stuff with Yomicon. Very glad to be back. 1,000 is a lot more people than came to my last Yomicon panel, so that's really nice to see. You can go watch the rest of their stuff. If you look them up on their website, they've got the whole schedule there. I'm actually not sure what their Twitch is. Let me find that. I will find that really quick.
I got it for you.
You got it?
Whoa, 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 Kyle.
Yay!
This is your first con appearance? That is
Me too.
ridiculous. Oh my god!
Mine too.
Technically.
We need to get these boys to cons when cons become a thing again.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
If any of you guys are ever, like, if you're a creator and you're hiring voice actors or anyone to work on your stuff, I can very highly recommend literally every single person in this cast. This is a dynamite cast to work with. Everyone who came in, or like, I would just like lean over to Emily and be like, they were so good. They were so good. Oh my god.
Both of us. Yeah, the whole time.
Yeah. And I think it speaks to that again, when I was like, hey, putting out a feeler, if anyone wants to do this Epithet Erased thing, you have 3 days of notice. I don't know what we're gonna do, that everyone wanted to hang out again. I think that's very telling.
I think that's telling of you too. Just throwing it out there. So thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Majin, did you get the
I posted it in the Zoom. Did you not
Nice.
see it?
Yeah, there it is.
It's everybody.
Yeah, it is twitch.tv/Yomicon official, one word, and it's spelled like you as in me and you, UMA con official. So yeah, thanks for having us. I believe our time is up on that. I'm gonna keep going if you guys want to keep hanging out, but
I'll hang out.
head on over to Yomicon and check out their stuff. Okay, bye. Woo!
Bye, Omicron.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. 2 really quick questions. This person, I get the sense they might know you. So this is from Tash Draws. Question.
Oh my God, I hate.
When you wrote Howie Honeyglow, was it a brilliant personal attack on Justice or coincidence that his ass is such a workaholic? The answer to that,
Tosh, I'm a legitimately fight Tosh.
the answer to that is actually that Howie was my author insert in the original back when I was in college and had infinite power and could work all the time. It was like, why doesn't everyone do this? You should work. And now Molly is my author insert, where I'm just like, I am tired all of the time and I can't do it, but I must. So that's the difference. And instead I've just decided to remove myself from Howie and up his JoJo levels, since he is, in physical strength, he is the most powerful character by a long shot. Like, if he and Zora both had epithet cuffs on, he could destroy her. Sorry, Zora. And Majin, Will, and Civ, how did it feel to reprise your roles? I guess, Civ, this is your first time.
Hey!
I mean, it was pretty cool just because, like, we hadn't done anything with the Epithet Erased characters in quite some time, and it was also weird because when we did it originally as like a game, it was all improv, so it was weird to have a script. But I mean, I was in a very fortunate position where you'd be like, hey, Ramsey's talking to Zora, what would he say here? I'm like, this. And you're like, okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of really good opportunities just because Jello knows a bunch of us, and we talk all the time of just Jello, like, either messaging one of us like, hey, how would Sylvie react to this? Or what do you think Sylvie do here? And it's it's just kind of nice to have that input just because we played these characters in tabletop fashions for across 8 episodes of, God, it's like over 100 hours of content, isn't it?
It's like 80 or 90 something. It's way
close,
too much.
yeah.
And it's still like the shortest thing on Surprise Round.
It was just wild because I think we were like doing on a manga and we were just talking, oh yeah, like Epithet Erased might become a show. Hey, Zach, you want to reprise Sylvie? I'm like, heck yeah, dude. And yeah, it's surreal to just come back and approach this with a lot of character background. I don't know how Will and Sid feel, but
yeah.
I know that you mentioned that like I will reach out to the original actors to be like, what would your characters say here? Because like some of them I've kind of figured out. Giovanni is like bafflingly easy to write now because I've written him the most. I wrote cutscenes for him even in the original, and so I've got all the stuff Rube gave me, the original player, and I've got all this stuff that Kyle has given me now. It's just like easy, so easy. All the bonsai blasters, exceptionally easy to write because that like they talk the way my stream of consciousness goes. So literally just like, again, it was like 3 a.m. and I'm at the end of this and just like, I don't know. What would Giovanni describe a grape as or a raisin as? Just like a grape left to die on the ground. What are you, a vegetable lich? And then the other half of my brain is like, grapes aren't vegetables. And that half of my brain is Sylvie. But yeah, even for this, I literally asked Civ because I was like, Civ, I haven't written Trixie yet, so can I just text you as Molly and you just respond as Trixie? And I think we just verbatim took like 80% of that.
Most of it, yeah.
I asked Aram to help me out for this again for Percy. The line I think Sandra nailed the most was the like the, oh my God, what was it? It's the, but I hope you're not putting my friend through the ringer. Carry on. That was Aram wrote that. Aram writes all of Percy's best dialogue. I can kind of write Ramsey too, but that you draw a clown fist exchange, which is kind of raunchy, weirdly. For I know that's also from that's all from the original stuff. If you draw a clownfish, you get nothing was one of my favorite lines from the original. Yeah.
I think one of the funniest things about like working on this but not being privy to all the information is like I saw the trailer before I got to see any of the proper episodes and I was like, guys, the trailer looks so good, but oh my God, I didn't know that Giovanni is an orphan. And you were like, no, he's lying. When he says his parents are ghosts, I was like, oh, poor baby boy, that's so sad. And you're like, no, he's lying. No, it's not.
Yeah,
so
no.
I was being surprised in real time, and suddenly the actors knew more about the story than I did, and they were like, "This thing," and I'm like, "That sounds fake." And then I would look and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm.
We
It's gonna be great."
the Giovanni parent lore, which we've mentioned a couple times in Q&As, but there's a good amount of people here. Is Giovanni has 2 moms. It's and one of them sounds like this, and she's the short and stocky one. And then the other one, who's also going to be voiced by me if she ever shows up, is like a very crystally, flowy mom. And I love the idea that like she's really into like natural healing and like the power of crystals and vibes. And Giovanni is like, Mom, that stuff's not real, but like in the wrong way, where it's like, Mom, you can't heal with a crystal. They're only used as save points before fighting dragons. Like it's just nonsense. And I think someone suggested, was like, does Giovanni have multiple moms? It's like, that makes all of the sense in the world, I think. So yes, he does now. I still need to figure out what he would like refer to both of them as, like ma or mom, to differentiate them. You know, people do that. So
If they're both mom.
yeah.
Just like, who's he talking to?
Mom 1, Mom 2.
How I call them.
Someone asked, I'd like to see more, this isn't really an ask, I'd love to see more characters interact with Giovanni's bonsai blasters. Yeah, Cyrus and the rest of the actors for the bonsai blasters, really, they were not written as anything. Oh, and Lindsay, technically, though she's not one of Giovanni's. they were all just written as blank slates. The Bonsai Heathers, as they're called, the trio, that was just like, they're just the Heathers now from the musical. I like that musical, so that's what they are. They weren't even women originally, they were just guys, and I was just like, more girls. I've got Girl Walla come in there and do it, and I think I've mentioned this to you, Lindsay, but Emily and I have some favorite lines, and one of our favorites is when the green one is about to fall off the dumpster full of apples and goes, "The lock on the container broke!"
We laughed for a good hour.
Sailor Moon read on that one.
Yeah, it's very Linda Valentine, Sailor Moon. Big fan. So all of them were made on the spot, and people love the Bonsai Blasters because the formula for like people loving a thing, whether it's like you see a ton of like Kimono Friend stuff or My Little Ponies, it's the base design that branches out. So when you learn how to draw it, you can draw all of them with minor tweaks. And then you're allowed to just make your own because there's a million of them. It's fine. So people are really into Bonsai Blasters. I love seeing Bonsai Blaster OCs. I do want to, Giovanni's group does come back in the book. They are in the opening scene with him. And
Hey, boys!
And I do, it's him going, "I'm quitting the Bonsai Blasters," and it's them going, "No!" And he's like, "I'm forming my new organization." And they're all like, "We're busy this weekend." And he's like, "Dear curses! There's only one girl I can call for my first heist," which is him going to the store and buying ingredients to make cookies. Giovanni's motivation for the first 2 books is to bake cookies and deliver them to his target. And it's gonna be a good time. I also, for fun, I have I know how and when Ben is gonna get his Bonsai Blaster name, and I know what it is. But I can't say because
Got so much lore.
there's too much lore. There's way too much lore. I'm trying to avoid the lore questions. Can everyone say I'm baby?
I don't know. Can we?
Can we?
Can we?
No, apparently.
Well, Mrs. Salazar?
Oh, we're not doing this. We're not doing this again.
Howdy. Baby.
I'm baby.
Epithet Erased babies.
Epithet
doesn't exist at this
Baby
point.
spin-off.
It's too young.
You bitch!
Too young. Can't exist.
Oh yeah, we're not on Yomicon anymore, so we can swear as much as we want now.
Oh, great.
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm baby.
Is
I am
Golden
baby.
pacifier.
Unfortunately, I cannot be baby due to the fact that babies do not work.
That's real.
Materialize as a fully grown adult. All right.
Yeah, I hate
The
children.
chat is blowing over the people saying, "Let Molly say fuck."
This is so relevant because the first time I worked with Danny, it was on Kimono Friends, and that was another character where we were like, "Let Serval say fuck." More characters that should not, but everyone wants to hear, say fuck.
Mayhaps I twimpsed around and take look for myself.
We recorded that with Danny, and she just like read it, and then afterwards was like, "What?"
Hey guys, Kyle has to pop out, but before he leaves, I want to say, oh my God, please give this boy much love. Go follow him on Twitter. He is one of the most amazing actors I have ever cast or worked with on literally anything. If you guys love him as Giovanni, you're going to love his other work. We were in a show called Namvika together, which is how we got introduced. You guys need to watch that show. You need to see his performance in that show, and everyone give him clamps.
Thank you all.
Also,
thank you.
Kyle, please,
I love you.
Kyle,
Great to see your
please
face.
give me
I
an
love you, boss.
invoice for doing the puppet work on that. Please let me pay you money. You haven't responded.
I'm getting there. It's been
Okay.
a hell of a few weeks. But
Okay.
yes, absolutely. I love you all.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye.
I literally after our first session with Kyle, I think I came home and people were like, people who knew Giovanni from the original were like, "How was Giovanni?" I was like, I think Kyle Ignacy might be the best actor I've ever worked with because he came
Literally.
in. He's insane. He's so good.
Yeah.
He's so good. We'll fog up the booth with his.
That was the second
sweat.
time.
Because
Yeah.
he's just working so hard. He also did that on, I had him on Death Battle where he played Jim Carrey's The Mask for me. Chaotic energy and fogged up the booth because he works so hard. It's such an amazing actor. I could gush about this cast specifically for a very long time. But, oh my God, the boy. Follow him on Twitter.
The boy.
He's really excellent. Yeah. Someone asked, is the plan to continue the story in the books? Or are they going to be side stories while waiting for season 2? They are the main story. If we get the money to actually animate it, great. Then we get to adapt it into an animation and it's best of both worlds. But if we never get that, it's nice to have the story and have an opportunity to have people actually read stuff. And I figured that would be a nice way to get voice acting in for a lower budget that doesn't require destroying me.
Speaking of the books, here's like a fun tidbit that people might find interesting, was you trying to explain to me the format of Epithet Erased so that I could then explain it to all the actors who were auditioning. And you were like, here's how it works. They say what they're doing out loud. And I'm like, so like an audiobook? And he goes, really? And I think what we landed on was like they are reading about their own life and they are very enthused about it.
I remember I've had to do the elevator pitch for the format of this show probably 30 times. I never figured out how to do it because it's just like it's like a visual novel, but like an animation, but not, and also it's a tabletop. What? I don't know. Give me money, and that worked. So I did a good enough job. I also remember after the auditions, I don't remember what line it was, but I think for everybody I had like 3 normal lines for just like, can you do these emotions? Then a loud line to see if they could yell, and then at least one, here's narration. Let me hear you do the narration, which everyone, like, it's weird, but everyone was great at it. And I remember for Mara's audition, I listened to about 50 different women do the line at the end where she's getting into the police car, which is just like, she presses her body against Indus's girth. And I was listening to them like, I made so many people read this and I didn't think about it at all.
Whoops.
Oops.
And I didn't stop you.
You didn't.
Those auditions were great because the characters were rendered so beautifully that I was just like, oh man, look at like this, the art style. And then everyone comes back with like the craziest things you've ever heard. And you're like, yeah, that's the energy. That's what I want. And I'm like, here you go.
Yeah, make them cuckoo bananas. That's
Yeah. And I didn't even get to see or know about Sylvie or Ramsey or any of the characters that were reprisals. So I would see the final episode and be like, whomst is this?
I never got to meet you. Like, I was the first one to fly in. You weren't there. I was like, oh, I don't get to meet Marissa. This is sad.
I think this is the first time I'm seeing your face, actually.
This is the first time we saw a face. We did another stream before and we talked a little bit.
I remember, I don't remember if Will and Zach were first, but I know that for new actors, I know Anthony as Indus was first, and you flew down from Canada, which is very nice of you. And I remember you showing up, and you were just like, you were chatting with someone, you were like, yeah, I'm doing this like new workout regimen, and you were just like ripped, and I was like, oh, perfect casting.
There he is.
It's Barrier.
Yeah, it's fun. There were a lot, like, I guess not a lot, but a couple of people who I got to bring back that I'd worked with on other smaller projects, like Danny actually, and I've worked with Anthony before on some things. And Danny was in my Dumb Hamtaro parody as a hamster. Wyatt, who plays Car Crash, was also there. I ended up not inviting the Bonsai Blaster voice actors, not because I didn't want them here, but because I was scared of what it would look like to have 20 people on a Zoom call. So
it's a lot of people.
Apologies for not bringing you guys into that. I felt bad because Jordan, you texted me at like 2 in the morning. You texted me at a reasonable time. I saw it at 2 in the morning. That was just like, there's an Epithet Erased pen. I was like, I knew I forgot someone
just
else.
Didn't know. I was like, yeah, no. Well, I saw everyone like posting it on Twitter, and I was just like, oh shoot, did I miss something? Like, oh no.
Oh man. Oh, we got bots. Get out of here, bots.
Oh, you gotta
Get out of here.
mod me so I can take care of that crap when we're doing
Light them on fire.
Somebody get the gun.
It's fine. They're
I'm watching
gone.
Chad mod me. I'll
Follow me, dude. This is my channel.
I will
Check
fight.
out this stuff, bro.
I will fight.
Time to out of here.
You're under arrest. Get out of here.
Hi, Rube. I see you.
Ew, bots.
Ew.
I just like this one comment I see
Hear
here,
me for
and
half a
it says the Beefton transformation is just Zach dying and turning into his persona.
I remember you can partially thank Zach for you being cast, Cyrus, because we picked we picked. I was like, who do you want as Beefton? We had some options, and I was like, so I'm just gonna present these to you in the way I was presented them with no context, and I sent you like 3. And the last one was yours. And he was just like, Scottish? And I was like, yeah, but like, yeah, though? And he's like, yeah. It's just the Scottish one.
I never thought of it. Yes, make him Scottish. Like, Joe, you want to make him Scottish? Like, yeah. It's like, and then we settled.
I remember it's like when I got the audition for that, there was like no accent. It was just like, be a bull. And I was like, I wonder what else I could do with this. And it didn't really show the bottom part of his body, if I remember. So I was just like, I'm going to mess with it. And I just threw Scottish in there just on a whim.
What if he
And I
was wearing a kilt?
He's wearing a kilt.
This is one of my favorite characters to audition for. Just to do Scottish screaming.
Also, I did really fall in love when I heard yours. I'm like, I did push for you a lot. After I was like, yeah, I settled on the Scottish thing. And then the next time we actually met was just killing each other in a mug.
I remember Brendan told me when I pulled up to Sound Cadence for the first time, he was like, the person who plays Sylvie just picked you right out of the crowd. And you know what? Just to throw that in there, one of my favorite things that we did was that we blended our voices together.
I felt so bad because I just heard from like Jill telling me, I was like, oh yeah, it took a while to get. I'm like, I'm so sorry, I gave you some wild read for that.
I kind of just want to throw this out there, but Brendan, do you remember when like I stopped completely and then there was like a moment of silence? I almost passed out because I had that asthma thing going on.
I kind of don't, which makes me feel awful.
you were
like, our booth.
You were just like, it was hilarious, but you were like, hey, I think we kind of lost you on the end there. And I was like, yeah, I almost lost me too. I have horrible asthma, so
I nearly killed you. I nearly killed Kyle. We partial
damage.
I don't know. No one will get out of this show alive.
It's a long con. It's a long con, really.
God.
But yeah, no, we tell the story all the time, but it's funny. And it's the first time Danny and Kyle met, which is the second time. We had Kyle record twice, and the second time he came in, I was like, so we had you for 4 hours, and you recorded about 2 episodes. Yeah. We now have 2 hours. Can we record 5 episodes? We can try, and then we did. Like, we just got through all of them. I was just like, okay, give me 3 takes, go, go, go. And he pulled it off insanely. And then we also did the episodes out of order, which Emily and I had to deal with the repercussions of the whole time, and we never figured out what the order was. And the booth was... like, he was sweating so much, the booth was completely fogged up. We could not see him at all through the window. It was white. And he came out and was dripping. He was like, hey! And I was like, oh, yeah, Danny's here. She's Molly. And he's just like, hello! He's just like, hi! It's like, yeah, I'm Giovanni. Oh, great! And, yeah.
It's like, I'm covered in sweat. I'm like, it's okay. And that's commitment right there.
Commitment.
So great.
Oh wait, that's a really good question. Everyone think of an answer for this. So Sylvie's got his dream big power, and you could hypothetically steal it with the amulet and turn into whatever your dream creature is. What would everyone's dream monster be as their character?
I don't know.
So everyone.
I think we all know what Stinks would be. It's this cow.
I didn't notice you were wearing that.
Oh, I sure am.
Oh crap.
Wait, Oliver, you gotta go.
Yeah, I got to split, but
All right.
great seeing everybody. Fantastic.
Thank you for
Thanks
coming
so
over.
much for coming out.
Great to meet you.
Awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Nice to meet all of you. Looking forward to the next time.
Bye.
Yeah.
Take care.
Yes.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Yeah, and I thought I had an extra one, but I guess not. Oh, what would you think of an inscribed character acting as a superhero? I think it would be a cool spin on having an epithet, or not having an epithet, rather. I love inscribed characters in the, we didn't actually elaborate,
I was gonna say.
why it was,
Yeah,
why
that
it was funny earlier that someone was like, make a tabletop thing of this. There is. It's based on a system that I made off of Unforgotten Realms called Anime Campaign. People have made actual sheets for it in Roll20 and stuff. It is a very homebrewy system. It's not a system to delve into if you're not good at game design. So maybe not your first game, but it's fun. It's very simple. There's almost no numbers. Everything's a D20. It's easy, and you are required to roll your word randomly, which is how I believe every single character who is still here was initially decided.
Yes.
I want to explore inscribed Mundi versus inscribed stuff a lot more. Phoenica, Molly's other friend, was originally inscribed. She is not anymore. I have an arc planned with people. They're dying. I have an arc planned with her and Trixie that is primarily about like what it is like to have and have not in the world of epithets. The villain of season 2 is not inscribed. Season 2, the 2 books. Not Molly's sister. She does have an epithet. There's another bad guy. And that character is he doesn't have an epithet.
Cat.
Cat.
The whole time.
Yeah. So I was checking up on chat. Yeah, did anyone have any ideas for what their character thing would be?
You know, I wasn't thinking clownfish at first, but after seeing
It's a convincing argument.
But it looks exactly like that. Like same body.
Oh yeah, no,
head.
exactly.
Oh yeah, huge thank
And
you.
it's like, oh, he's not very creative.
No, of course not.
I didn't actually plug the artists who made that. Huge thank you to Bo Hello, who is one of my favorite epithet artists. They did a really good collab with another artist named Spayer for a couple pages of Halloween stuff. I stole some of the costumes they used because they made that before I wrote this script. And it's just like, cool, that's what this is now. They were the ones who came up with Giovanni's boys dressing up as him. And I was like, that is dead on accurate. I love that.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
Will Car Crash have a bigger role? Probably not, admittedly. Car Crash kind of got his focus. I'd like to focus on some of the other Bonsai Blasters at some point. Fans really like Crusher, so yeah.
I love you, boss.
So fun.
Yeah.
He's a sweetie.
I feel bad. Like every question, there's so many, but like all of them are lore, and I really want to get you guys talking, and I can't think of any way to do it. How y'all doing?
I'm trying to think for like an animal thing for Ramsey, and
Doesn't
all I
have to
can
be an
think of is
animal.
Jarble.
That's
Yeah.
a giant hamster.
A gross jarble face.
Like my immediate thought was just like kind of a rotund rat with rat traps for feet.
King! Rat King!
Rat King. He could just be the rat king.
I like that.
Nice.
You're a hit at Christmas.
Nice reference.
Oh, thanks.
Hey, bada bingle bells.
Bada bingle bells. That's funny.
I do love the New York accent. Is
Yeah.
right after my heart, which you are not from, are you?
No, I'm Minnesotan through and through. I've never even been to New York.
It is brilliant.
Come visit.
Pretty good New York accent. All things
I just wanna smear it on a bagel. It's that good, man. Really.
We got the New York.
Yeah, we got I couldn't figure out if we were supposed to say orange or orange in one of the episodes. So Mara has like a weird accent at one point there. I don't know what.
I love Mara's.
Orange aura.
Oh, the orange glow.
Uh-huh.
That's where I was like, where do you say orange?
Orange glow. You do like such a magical job of capturing Mara's like the original thing that ended up happening with Mara was that because again this was improvised and I played her, which is funny. And I was bad at it, like really, really bad at it. And I would try and like come up with like, Will is really good at this, but I would try and come up with like scary things to say when she's trying to be intimidating and would fail every time to the point I was like, this is now her character that she's trying to be evil.
Kind of a dweeb.
And she just can't succeed at it.
Something bull in a china shop.
Yeah, so all of the like, yeah, I've totally got it. And then immediately being really upset whenever she screws up. Just like, perfect. Excellent.
Gosh.
Okay, I've got a question for Jordan and a question for Dawn. Please stop scrolling away. I'm scrolled up. Why are you disappearing? Question for Jordan: how does your throat handle Howdy's voice? I've been doing an impression for one of my D&D characters, and it is pretty intense.
I don't know. I mean, like, I just like initially in the audition, I know whenever I looked at the character, first and foremost, I was just like, hey, this character looks really interesting. I really want to get this character. But I just kind of started doing like I don't know if anyone knows who like Pat Buttram is. He's like an old school voice actor. You know, he's passed away, but he's been in a lot of like Disney movies. So I kind of just got like a little bit of inspiration. You know, he's kind of got that, you know, man, let me tell you something right now. So I just kind of did that, but just amped it up to like super crazy levels. So I don't know, like for me, I guess it just kind of sits in a place where I'm not really straining too much. It's more just like the movement and like the I guess like the acting more so than just like shredding my vocal cords.
Nice. And then did I seriously delete it? I hate this. Dawn, someone essentially, I'm putting these in Notepad and it doesn't have undo states. So like if I copy over something, it's gone. Dawn, someone asked something to the effect of, I think I heard you say it once that you originally have some flavor of country accent and you got to bring that out for Zora and you were channeling that. Is that true? And what is that
I did.
like?
I am a native Texan. I was born and raised in Texas. But my brother, for most of his life now, lives in LA, which is where I am now. But when I was a kid, I would say y'all all the time, and I would have this southern accent come out, this little baby Dawn. And my older brother, he's like, how much older is he? It's like 13 years older than me, and he goes, you hick. I'm like,
so mean.
He kind of like teased the accent out of me.
Oh.
And but now anytime I get to play any southern characters, I'm like, ha! Look at this, Matt. I'm
like
a
baby.
cowboy.
Slight.
So of course I immediately told him when I was cast as Zora, I'm like, hey Matt, I'm playing a cowboy. Now what?
And then I remember you and I driving to the tiger sanctuary, and you were like, Marissa, I get to sing a song. I get to sing a cowboy song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love villain songs. I love songs in general. I'm gonna be real. Even if I do the books, I am probably gonna commission another opening and outro for each story arc. Just not to animate because I don't want to be poor again. But I will have that, and I love villain singing especially. But in my head, I was like, I would love it if the opening for like in a world where we had $8,000 million, I would love the first half of a hypothetical season 2, which takes place in the toy store. And is mostly about Molly and her two friends. I would love it to be them singing as a little trio, and because I know Civ can sing, and Danny has told me she cannot sing, but other people have told me Danny is lying. And I don't know who will play Phoenica, but that's fine. And then the one I really want to do is the story arc after the prison one. Is a big whodunit, who is the last bad guy before the plot really kicks into gear mystery. And it takes place at a card game convention called DeathCon. And they enter a card game tournament, which is happening in the background. It is never focal at all. And they know that one of, I think, 8 people is the last Bliss Ocean bad guy, and they're investigating each of them. And I really wanted the outro song for that season to be all 3 of the other bad guys and their leader, who you know who they are by that point, singing this song for the credits, where it's like a who can it be thing, and there's like a missing harmony, and then there's a part where they kind of like gesture to this empty spot, and then the rest is just instrumental. And then after that character has been revealed, you get them showing up singing the final part of the harmony, and then they are there dancing in the middle. And I really, really wanted to do that, so I would get to have Dawn singing again for another outro.
Yes.
Yeah. Someone asked,
I need a Giovanni song, because for those
I
of
do
you who
too.
don't know, Kyle Ignazi is also an amazing singer because he can do everything.
Oh.
So, putting my ballot in, I would like a Kyle Ignazi song. Thank you.
I'm fine with that. I asked Danny and Kyle, hello, there's Al, Siv's cat.
Idiot.
I asked Danny and Kyle, I was like, you guys want to sing a Beetlejuice cover? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, awesome. I'll get back to you on that. And then I didn't, because So This Is Basically happened, and I was sick for all of October and September.
October sucked for us.
October bad. Danny, I have a request for you. Can you say in Molly's voice, "Little Rat Man, no kiss for him"?
Okay. Little rat man, no kiss for him.
Be nice to me.
Be nice to Bada Jingle Bells or whatever. Bada Bingle Bells.
Bada
Jingle.
Could that be a t-shirt, please? I will wear
Hey,
that
Mary.
I'm just picturing like an Animal Crossing character version of Ramsey.
Just the voice actor curse on Danny is that we're hitting her up to read memes all the time, and she's just like, I don't know what any of this is.
I can't read this language.
We have mayhaps I twimst around and take Ann Peep for myself. You did like 4 or 5 takes of it where you're like, what am I reading?
It's true. Ever since Serval, it's just memes have been sent to me, which are great. I love them. But I'm like, how do I make this happen? What do I do? How do I say this? I just read them. I don't know if there's an actual way to say these memes, and I feel like it's stupid when I put them out, and then people like them. Like, okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
Okay, great.
Just flying blindly and hoping someone goes, yeah, you nailed it. Like, really?
Got it.
I did great.
Open to the floor question. What is your favorite moment that your character, it just says moment of a character you voiced. I don't know if that's Epithet or in general. Feel free to answer either if you've got a favorite, like, yeah, it's my favorite Epithet line, or in this other show, which you can check out here. I'm down to plug other stuff. I should have had people plug things before they left, because everyone got to do
I feel
so.
like my favorite Percy moment, to narrow it down to specifically Epithet Erased. And I was gearing up for this on the day that we had our session together, Brendan. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be the day that I get to say this finally. Awesome. It was something. It was he's consumed the debauchery. I was just so pleased by that whole exchange and how big. I saw everything in all caps, and typically Percy's so like reserved, and she has a very specific way that she delivers things. But whenever I see the all caps under Percy, I'm just like, oh my God, yes, I get to go buck wild. Yes. And I don't care how brief it is. It's delicious every time.
I love your performance as Percy so much, because it's the best thing as a writer, where I get to write any line or steal them from Aram usually. And I'll be like, I don't know if this works, but I know Sandra will find a way to make it so funny. Like even writing that dumb Among Us thing, which like I did for fun, but it took me like that one went through revisions. That one I was like, this needs to be good.
I think Emily needs to be let back in.
Yeah.
Oh, did she get booted?
To be.
Emily got booted. Her internet cut out. You need to let her
No.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, Emily.
That is not happy. Let Emily.
They're just like, come on.
I'm sorry.
Baby Emily.
Again, it does not notify me.
No, this I thought I'd let you know.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Welcome back.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, Sandra,
Wait,
I just like to
Emily,
say
can you say
real
words?
quick-
I don't know if we can hear you. Nope, you're muted.
Nope.
You muted?
No,
you
hon.
check the mute button?
Mine you just.
Check your inputs.
Oh no.
Sorry,
Well, you
Civ.
check your inputs.
Civ, you were
I'm
saying?
gonna.
Someone was saying something. Am I crazy? I guess I'm crazy.
Civ was saying something to
Civ?
Sandra.
Oh yeah, no, Sandra, I would just like to say Percy was my favorite character in the original like source material from Epithet, and like your performance as her made me fall in love with that character all over again. So I super appreciate what you've done for her.
So glad.
Yeah,
I really am.
I remember when we got talking about Epithet Erased happening, and the immediate thought was, who the hell is gonna do Percy? We're like, she is so weird.
That's the weirdness I loved when I got the sides, though. I was like, when I got the sides, it was Zora, Mira, and Percy, I think, and I also think Molly all together in the same document. And I'm like, okay, cute little girl voice, probably not a hit. Mira looks cool, Zora looks awesome, and then Percy's like, oh, interesting. And I read through all the stuff, and then I get to Percy's lines, and I see that there was some exchange about, I think in the show it was different, it was the gun, but in the sides it was something like, oh, it's a toy soldier toy, pretend it's some doll or some toy. And it was the whole thing of like someone breaks it, and then she has to go like, no, he fell in the line of duty. So I read that and I was like, holy crap, I would really love to voice this character. It was perfect. Those lines just made me fall in love with her.
The oh Danny, that entire bit and that oh Danny boy
Oh,
thing,
Danny.
I was like, this, because in the original version, Goro was a party member, the sheriff. He got demoted to cameo character, the cupcake sheriff, and I guess he's a donut sheriff. And he had this little pea shooter, and he was played by our friend Chula, who is also a voice actress. And she's just like, oh, I shoot her with my pea shooter, and Zora walks over and just disintegrates the gun. And the line, there goes the pea shooter. that was from the original. I was like, I'm gonna extend that. Because I want to see, because it's Percy's gun now, but it's not Percy's gun. It was a gift. So she would be upset, but like in a weird Percy way. And again, it was sometimes, because sometimes I would write late and be tired and would wake up and find a line I forgot about. And I wrote and forgot about the whole Danny boy exchange and got back up and was like, what the fuck is this? And it's just
the staccato, like totally deadpan, oh, Danny boy. I could not love it.
I was like, I think this is only funny to me. And I'm going to make this the one thing no one is allowed to edit out of the script, even if I send it to an editor and they're like, no. I'm like, that one stays.
I get one.
Was that in the sides? Was like the actual Danny Boy song in the sides?
I believe so.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that some mention of Danny Boy was in there because it was just a killer line. I'm just like, it kept ramping up, and the fact that it ended on like a eulogy, just like, I was like, why? But okay, that's awesome.
Oh, this is a pretty.
You're literally perfect as Percy.
It's really, really good.
Thank you.
So good.
Again,
Everyone's
I
perfect.
started this story, but Sandra and I knew each other pre-voice acting for either of us. So getting auditions from you, I was like, oh, fun! I've not heard auditions. Ooh, and then I get to pass them along and to see that one made it all the way through. I was like, ooh, and then I got to hear you in the final thing, and I'm like, I know that person, and I've known that person since I was 15.
That was really fun. I was just like, wow, fun. Like sometimes Sound Cadence comes along and I'm just like, oh, I hope. And then this time happened and I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? But no, it was just so touching, and oh my, everyone's so great. Like the job, you guys have done an amazing job casting this. Like, I can't imagine anyone doing anything else. It's just everyone fits.
I mean, yeah, and I said this before, like Sound Cadence, we have a huge actor database that we pull from for every project. So, unfortunately, not everyone gets to work on every project, but when they do, everyone feels like they're very well. Yeah, they're very well seated in, because you get to really have the scope of, okay, we had like 100 actors read for this role. I feel very confident in, this selection. And that's the cool thing about, just having a huge pool of actors that you can trust to pull upon consistently, is that they will give you back these great auditions that you can just send along full confidence. You're like, there you go. How do you like it? And they're like, I love this. Thank you.
Okay, there's a good question. Did I cut any characters that I loved but didn't have time for? I cut a lot of characters from the original. In the very, very first cut of this, because the original story was that it was a tournament arc thing, which would have been an awful adaptation setting to introduce this world. But essentially, the original plot was that Mara had the necklace already and was running an epithet fighting tournament looking for people with epithets she wanted to steal. And I had to contrive some dumb reason she wanted to get Molly's instead of just walking up and stealing it, like an adult would have done. The original plot was she has to contrive this ridiculous way for Molly to get through this tournament by threatening her two friends who are there with these weird glass bug powers she has, and they were all dumb. But I think the most noteworthy cut is Aram, who originally played Percy. He had another character who was inexplicably a fan favorite despite never being important ever. And his name was Dan Gansley. Dan Gansley was comically inept in every single way. Every time he rolled, he was universally known for rolling ones on a d20 over and over again. So he will show up in the next storyline also. He is going to be there, but he was going to be in this season. He was in the museum arc. He made it a couple drafts in, and then I cut him and put a lot of his lines and actually fed them into Indus, because I was like, Indus isn't doing enough. Dan isn't doing enough either. I gotta get rid of one of them and make room. And I can't quite do his inflections, but he was originally kind of a sports announcer type guy. And he sounds a little bit like Zap Brannigan and a little bit like John Mulaney. And he's very sad. And imagine the way Percy says weird, bizarre things. That's just Aram. That's not me. Aram's characters have this amazing way of pulling out the weird, saddest thing you've ever heard. And Dan Gansley was just that. Oh, Cyrus, you got to head out? All right. I will see you later.
I got an appointment
For
somewhere.
being here.
All right. Is there anything you want to plug anywhere before you go?
If you guys want, you could follow me on Twitter. Now that we can cuss, I shit post a lot, so I love doing that. I stream on my channel, or stream on my Twitch channel, which is Sci Guy Streams. And I guess the recent thing I'm kind of proud of, even though I don't really know what's happening with the game. In 2019, I voiced for Silvermane for the Godfall game. I don't know if it's going to officially have voiceover. I haven't heard anything about that, or whether or not they're doing it. But that's a game that's coming out in a couple days, and I'm excited for it. And you guys should be excited for it.
Hey.
And then, yeah, y'all are great. These people are great. The end.
Great too.
Thanks for coming out. See ya. Bye.
Thanks for having me, y'all.
Bye. Toodles.
You.
But last note on Dan Gansley. He originally in that fight where Molly is like, oh no, bonsai blasters. Dan Gansley was there instead of Indus, and he was like, don't worry, little girl, I will help you. And it was more gamey, so you could still see their dice rolls at this point in the writing, which we got rid of, which was a good decision. And he was just like, here I go. 1, I have failed. And then he would just eat shit. And Molly was just like, ah! And in the rewrite, he just knocks himself out immediately, leaving Molly to fend for herself. And then I put Indus there and was like, what conceivable reason would Indus not be able to defeat these level 1 youngster Joey tier threats? And I was just like, I don't know. He runs into a wall and he's just sticking out of it like a Muppet. It's fine. It's fine. So that's why that happens.
I did want to pull it back to the favorite moments, if you don't mind,
Go
because I
for
want to
it.
hear everybody else's before I have to go in like 10-ish minutes. So I'd like to have everyone kind of think about their favorite moments so that we can kind of go down the list and everyone can say theirs.
That sounds like a good thing to end on if we kind of wanted to wrap it there.
I'll say mine. My recording session was literally one session. It was just record all of Stink, record the cat. But I want to tell like the fun backstory of the Stink voice. When we met Jello, we were just talking for hours, and I was like, yeah, and I really like Hunter, and there's this stupid voice that I do to imitate the main character.
Oh my
It's
god.
this shitty little boy voice, but he has a lisp, which is the lisp did not make it. And I was like, and you know, he's gone freaks and he eats pine cones. And Jello's like, eating pine cones is comedy gold. I love that.
I'm stealing that.
I've written Pinecone Eats before.
Yeah, already the same humor type. So when I came in and he was like, you're going to be Stink and I need you to do exactly that again, I was like, you got it. Just so special to me. Does anyone else have a favorite moment?
There was, I do have one when I was doing Indus, and it was, I said one line, and it was Mara was like, where are they? And I was just like, I freed them. And I remember, yeah, like Jello, you would like, everyone outside the booth was like laughing. I was like, yes, yes, that's when you know.
Man, you did a slam dunk with Indus. He's so funny.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I saw the pictures. I was like, how can I not do Punk? How is he?
Yeah,
how can I not?
Tell you, Anthony, that Indus is my mom's favorite character.
I bet Indus is very popular with moms.
We watched it together over the holidays last year, and I was very curious who her favorite would be because I don't really know anything about my mom's taste in animated characters specifically. And I was like, so who's your favorite, Mom? And she goes, I like Indus. And I was like, oh. Interesting choice. I too enjoy a good himbo.
When the series was conceived, when I was writing the first couple drafts, I was like, we're gonna get so much Indus and Mara art. They're so funny. And then I changed it so Sylvie ended up being kind of a trio with Giovanni and Molly, and everyone was like, that's the thing we're gonna draw. And I was like, but okay. Are we? And like I got one, not the one I commissioned from Bo, but there was like this other nice like Indus piece of artwork, and where he's just like very cute looking. And I was just like, I'm shocked there wasn't more of this. I really thought they nailed those. BRB need Lappy Cable. Okay. And also, Anthony, I wanted to say you also nailed a read today, which was look, I'm a bag. I think
It's pretty good.
It's the perfect himbo voice. Anytime.
Yeah. Oh, that holding out for a himbo parody. Have you guys seen that? It made the rounds on various things. It's very good. One of the singers for Has Been Hotel did it, and they're cutting through all it's just like her singing on a piano. And then in the background, it's cutting through all these himbos. And I was just like, oh yeah, those are himbos. And Indus was on there. I was like, what the fuck is my character doing on a thing?
Hey.
It's our himbo.
That's ours.
Anyone else favorite moments?
Have one. It's in episode 1, I think, where Indus rips his shirt off, and Mara's just like, "Oh, you got my attention." And Brendan, you were just like, "I think you're saying it maybe a little too turned on," but I think we'll go with that.
It's in the outtakes too for a separate. There were like 4 times. You were also one of the earliest sessions, and I wasn't like 100% comfortable directing actual people in a booth yet. So I was like, I don't too sexy. And that happened like 3 or 4 times with Mara because her voice kind of like rides on that edge.
It's sexy drywall.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Imagine going to a hardware store like, yes, I need something for my living room. What are you looking for? I don't know, something like sexy drywall.
No, hotter than that.
I need a drywall that step on me. I just like something like that.
Sexy
Adulterous.
drywall, a good Halloween costume.
What the D in DILF stands for drywall.
Jesus Christ.
Oh
I think one of my favorite moments, and it was more because of Kyle's amazing deliveries, was when Zora meets Giovanni, and it's like, I'm like, howdy boys, and Kyle just goes, cowboy.
Cowboy. I cracked up so hard when I watched that part.
Oh, if we're talking about our favorite of other people's reads, Anthony, my favorite Indus line is just, Mr. Barrier is my epithet. It gets me every time.
Mr. Barrier is my epithet.
Every single time.
I love Justice's working man's.
Okay,
That's my favorite. That was actually my favorite.
Jello knows how hard I...
This room covered in honey. Like, I'm not done. I'm not done working man's food.
I laughed too hard every time you said honey snacks.
Oh yeah, honeyed snack is that's my choice. Is honeyed snack.
I laughed too hard the whole time.
Emily and I also went in and did like mouth noises as sound effects in post together. So when I was just like, oh, we need some like horrible eating noises for this and a gulp, and we need a consuming honeyed snack sound. So I think I'm your eating Walla actually in that scene. Honey.
Yeah.
I was
I'm
really
Sandra's, I think.
Yeah, that was the other one. I'm really happy that in today's script I got to write more like weird, scary, powerful Howie, because I love Howie. Like he, even in the original, he has nothing to do with the story. I just like him a lot. And getting to do that, like, do you hear their heartbeat against the house? Just like the weird, like, old god construction worker who is just beyond powerful. I love it. And I was so happy to get to hear that.
Construction worker.
And you nailed it.
One of my favorite lines I think one of my favorite lines that always gets me is Will and Dawn.
Oh.
When you first meet, and then Dawn just does her monologue, and then Will's like, is that because you're a cowboy?
Someone did this fucking edit of that scene where it's just like, blah, blah, is that because you're a cowboy? Shot on iPhone, and it's perfect. Oh, and someone else did this edit of when it's like this old Crunch Bar commercial with this kid going, "That's why I love Nestle Crunch," and he goes to bite into the thing, and they superimpose Mara getting slammed into the wall. Oh, I keep meaning to answer this, and I didn't. Multiple people have asked, is it okay to animate any of the audio from this stream? Please, always, any animated anything, any animatics is like the highest tier fan content physically possible. I am a musical fan, so that's like my like someone did someone did like some Star Kid stuff with like Giovanni and his boys. I was like, this is literally like you couldn't make something I would like more than this. So any animated anything to this audio, A+. Please do it.
The Delta Airlines one.
That's
so funny.
That one's really good. I used one of Molly's reference faces in that as a reference for, I think, Reen in the Cold Steel video when he's just like, it's a giant waste of time. She's like, that's Molly's face in that animatic when it's just like, you're a little fat girl, aren't you? No, say it. I'm a little fat girl. She's just so confused and sad.
Something else I really love is animatics where someone takes audio from someone else's character that they've voiced and like put like Epithet or other characters on top of it. So please check out all the other work that these people have done, and if it inspires you to make an Epithet animatic with that audio, I highly recommend doing that because it is the funniest thing ever. Especially if the voices are very wildly different. Also, my favorite Dawn line is tree.
Tree.
I think
my-
Tree was improvised out of necessity because there was this big long like she puts her hand down and a tree starts. I'm like, this doesn't work. This won't work at all with the pacing. We need something here. Can you just yell Tree? Tree! We got it.
Beautiful.
I think my favorite line from that too is just a spit in his mouth.
It's
Oh
so
my god. Favorite Percy line. Percy spits on Zora's hand too. As a show of good faith.
They should, good faith.
the one the fandom really seemed to like. There's 2 Percy lines that are Percy wham lines everyone was in love with, and the first one is just she pulls out her goddamn sword, her real ass goddamn sword, because like I wrote this knowing that we'll swear in this. This whole thing is like PG-14 or whatever, but it masquerades as a children's show. So there's a lot of children who really like Epithet because they watch the first episodes, and then it starts swearing, and it's just like, oh no, they're swearing now, and then even Molly swears. Yeah, the babies all start swearing.
No holds bar.
And the other one everybody likes from Percy is the I fucking wrote this. I should know these lines. It's the oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Oh, it's fine. Go on with continue with your threat.
That's also one of my favorites. Oh, here's a favorite. My favorite Ramsey line is, "Am I having an aneurysm? What is happening?"
That is so Will. That's just Will.
That's just Will.
Just distilled down.
I think that was one of those lines where you were like, "What does Ramsey say?" I'm like, "This is what I'd say." Like, what? This is insanity.
It's the most relatable one of the most relatable moments out of Ramsey in the whole show. Just like, am I having an aneurysm?
I love
What
Ramsey.
is happening?
I know we already mentioned it, but just the spectrum of Ramsey from hard straight man of like, what is happening? Am I having an aneurysm? To he said, because you dressed up like a cowboy.
Dynamics.
Oh!
Special shout out to Jello's closed captions on that scene where you
Oh
just
my
put
God.
a little cat face.
I hate doing captioning so much. It's a nightmare.
But the captions are so worth it. If anyone in this chat has not rewatched the show with the captions on, I highly recommend it.
Yeah,
Because like stuff is underlined and there's stupid like emojis and stuff that just.
I tried really hard anytime I was like, if someone hard of hearing is watching this, at first I was like, am I allowed to fuck around in this? I'm like, I guess if it gets the point across, then it's fine. And I was like, you know what? If someone can't hear these deliveries, I want them to know what spice is being thrown on these lines. So a lot of Ramsey lines are followed by like a :3 little cat face.
Thank you.
A lot of the
Thank you.
A lot of the like stage directions people say out loud are followed by like Giovanni has like loser noises once or twice. Stupid maniacal clown laughter, I think, is on Sylvie's breakdown.
The chat is full of rat faces right now.
Little face.
All the rat faces.
I am he.
Yes.
That was my favorite
Okay.
line.
I Am He was from the original, but it was like a carryover from a stupid joke, wasn't it?
I don't even.
Yeah.
It's gone through so many iterations.
It's so many. We've just used it as just
Yeah.
like a thing now.
Oh, Emily's gotta go.
Yep, me
Yep.
and Emily have to go.
Bye, Sound Cadence people.
We have to go to business meeting
Yeah.
things.
Business meeting.
Meetings.
All right.
Yeah.
Head out to.
Yes,
Yeah.
lots of fun.
Anyone?
Bye, guys.
Yep. Anyone got anything to plug before they head out? I know you guys got to leave right this second because Sound Cadence. Marissa's already gone.
Oh. Yeah. Sure. Follow Sound Cadence. Follow me.
You love Sound Cadence.
Yeah. Like. Yeah.
All right.
Follow those things.
Done and done.
I am good at advertising. All right. Have a good one, guys.
Bye.
Love you,
Bye.
Emily.
Love you.
I gotta head out too.
All right.
I love you.
Everyone's
Oh my God.
They're evaporating.
Yeah, this is the mass exodus.
Everyone's leaving.
Bye.
Um,
Yeah. So, follow me on Twitter because I'm there and post really stupid stuff like all the time when I really should be working instead. L Shepherd VO. And I have a website too, bubblegumvoice.com. You can see clips of other things that I've done too. So yeah, that's it. Cool. Okay, bye guys. I have to figure out how to get out of this thing. Hold on, I'm stuck here forever. We'll never leave.
No
Oh, there we go.
You can't leave us now.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Yeah. Couple small things people have said. Someone responded to the thing ages ago why nobody has drawn Indus artwork is because, according to the people who did the Epithet zine, which came out a couple months back, Indus has less fans because he's really hard to draw because he's like anatomically big muscle man. And I remembered, yes, everyone on the art team hated Indus because the style is so cute and specific and cartoony, and everyone else is like a string bean and very like lithe and sharp and swoopy, and then Indus is like, I am a brick. And
as a general rule, if you don't know how to draw muscular people, it will be very hard.
Yeah.
But it's so worth it. I'm just saying.
And Indus was the cursed character. His like the first set of Induses was like his line art is all the wrong size. We need to go in and edit him again.
Jello.
Yeah.
Do you have that one edit of the original Indus picture that I did for the sides, where his eyes are?
You know what? I might. But I don't think I have it on hand, and I'm full screening, so I don't want to scrumble through my entire computer full of secret projects for that.
I'll share that around somewhere when I get a minute.
Yeah.
I'll see if I have that.
Also, someone ages ago asked two things. One for more clarification on the audiobooks, the hypothetical future audiobooks. Will those be like just books or have hypothetical readings? My plan is I'd like to write them, get the audio thing recorded before the book is released, and then release them at the same time and be like, the book costs like, I don't know, $15, $20 or whatever a book costs. I don't read. And then on top of that, have like here's a $10 audio file or whatever, which will have all the other stuff on it. I might also kickstart that. I don't know. I have to write it first. That's a long way off. It's a book. The other thing is, does supporting me on Patreon help the show? Yes, that is the best way to give me money because it also gives you stuff. There are not all Epithet stuff, but there's like Epithet alone. There's a couple hours of recording and extras. The outtakes are exclusively on Patreon for this show. My Patreon is just /JelloApocalypse. I think I have a pretty good Patreon, especially if you've never been on it before. There's a lot of good content for even at the $1 tier. There's like all of the art stuff. Outtakes are, I think, the $5 tier. And beyond that, it's just you being nice to me. But that is the best way to get me money because it gives me money directly. No one else is taking out of anything from it. And I get to put it back into projects immediately, which is really nice. So yeah, that's the best way to support. Yeah, also dolls. I get 30% of doll sales, which is very good. I make like very low 5 figures per each doll, which is amazing. And then I put it in a bank account for Epithet Erased, and maybe someday I'll get to touch it again. I still have several floor mollies behind me. Maybe someday I'll get to give those out. These are very valuable mollies because they don't go back into print. So I've got the majority of the molly doll stock right here. I think I have 20. Yeah, and I think we were basically gonna wrap it up because it feels like we're wrapping it up on Steam.
Yeah, I gotta bounce.
Yeah, if anyone's got anything left to say or plug, we can do that. You said you gotta bounce, so why don't you go first?
Okay. Thank you so much, by the way, for doing this. It was great to see everybody and just actually seeing y'all's faces after hearing just your voice. So thank you so much, and thank you guys for watching. Chat, thank you. You can find me on Twitter at SkinnyMini07, and I stream also on Skinny Mini on Twitch. And yeah, I just want to say thank you for being a fan of the show. Thank you, Brendan, for letting me be a part. And you guys are awesome, and I love you. And hopefully we can do this in real time. I mean, this is real time, but real
real space,
in person.
Incorporeal.
Yeah.
In person soon. So thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Here.
I gotta bounce out as well. But I was gonna say before I go, I absolutely loved like the mid-episode like lines that you had us do for the cuts. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Just because like I don't know, it was just so random. Especially like with Howdy. I think you came up with that. Like the ghost in my hat haunts me still or whatever. I was just like, I was like, this is something that he would say, and this is great.
And most of those are included. All of my favorite ones we didn't use in the show are included on the outtakes on my Patreon, by the way.
Ooh, nice. But yeah, man, I like I said, I got to bounce, but thank you so much for just having us, man. Like, this was a lot of fun. Kind of like Danny said, it was really great to just see everybody's faces. Some of you guys I'm seeing for like the first time. So this was really nice. For all the fans, thanks so much. This was really great. You can follow me on Twitter at @DashCruiseVA. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got to plug, I guess. So I guess I'll catch you guys on the flip side.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Peace.
Bye.
Later.
Bye. All right. Yeah, who else wants
Who's
to
next to leave?
Who else wants to say goodbye? Because I think we're all saying goodbye.
More or less.
I would guess so.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
Thanks, man.
Fight.
Yeah, as everyone else has said, like, thank you so much, Brendan, for having us all on this amazing project. And everyone in this cast is so good. All of you are amazing actors and good people at the same time. And it's such a good, wholesome cast. Like, I rewatched this show so often during this whole pandemic because it's just so pleasant to listen to, and everyone's deliveries and timing is just astounding, and I'm really blessed and honored to have been a part of this show. So thank you very much for having me. I guess, like, things to plug. I'm in a show right now on Funimation called Assault Lily Bouquet. I'm Kaede. She's this very thirsty girl. Super thirsty. You'll see. Yeah, I'll post my Twitter in the chat. But again, thank you guys so much. Stay safe out there, and I really hope we get to do this in person too, because I would love to reunite again with all of you. So thank you very much.
Absolutely.
We will.
Well, I will see you
Take
guys.
care.
Bye.
Toodles.
I guess I'll go up. Thank you once again for creating this. This has been amazing. Like, being able to come down, being able to record it, like, spend a couple days in Texas as well. That was an absolute blast. And yeah, I was rewatching it, Epithet Erased, earlier today, just to kind of like remind myself like if there were like any like little quirks or anything from like other characters based off of the script that you had given me, and like, oh god, everything was just so good, and I was like laughing so hard.
Thank you.
Fuck, it was great. But yeah, I mean, I guess in terms of things to plug, people can follow me on Twitter. I'm AntfishVO on there. I'm in another show right now that's coming out called Meta Runner. So if you want to check that out, you can go ahead and do that. It's pretty cool. It's from a team in Australia. So like that's yeah, super interesting. But yeah, I really hope that we get to do this in person soon. So everyone, be safe, be healthy, and I'll talk to y'all later.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for coming out.
Bye. Thank you for having me. Peace.
All right. I remember
I
we're
guess
6.
I will go because I should probably make some form of lunch. This has been amazing. Like, I'm always just totally floored at how awesome this project is in particular. I never anticipated that I would have gotten cast in it. I saw a very cool project in my inbox and I was like, man, that'll be cool when it comes out. Here's hoping that I'll be in it. And with that kind of feeling of like, I'll still watch it though, even if it doesn't, because it sounds so amazing. And it is amazing. And it's got great actors in it. You're all amazing, very talented, have wonderful timing. It's all been said already, but it makes me proud to be part of, like, all of my friends watch this. And it's one of my proudest achievements of, my career thus far. So thank you, Brendan, for, getting this together. And I hope to see all of you soon in person. If anyone wants to check me out, I'm on Twitter as Dusty Old Roses. Same thing for my Instagram, except there's an official at the end because somebody beat me to it. And I'm also on Twitch occasionally as Dusty Old Roses. I voice in several things, like I said, Brawl Stars, but I'm also reprising a role that I had in Mech Warrior 5, which I'm not sure when the DLC comes out, but I'm in that as several voices. Phoenix Point, and a whole bunch of other things. So come check it out if you're interested, and please take care of yourselves. It's a very terrible time right now, but please be safe and love yourself.
Thanks for coming out. Also, Civ and I didn't get to do any October Overwatch shit because we were dying. But if you
God,
wanna,
I can only imagine.
if you wanted to play some Overwatch sometime before that, I assume the event goes for like 3 or 4 days into November. If you want,
I think so. Yeah, and there's one bitch one that I cannot.
I was gonna say, I bet they.
No,
I think
we're good now. We're good.
We're good.
The way I phrased it was like, so it was like, oh man, we missed the Junkenstein event. I'm like, I bet we could do one afternoon, which is probably all of the content they added, if any, for this year. So yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah.
But I'm down for that all the time.
Yeah. All right.
See you guys soon. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
I'll take the next one. Why not? Hi. Thanks. Well, honestly, thanks, guys, for. Well, thank you, Jello, for casting me. Honestly, this is one of the first like real voice acting jobs that I've done. So like,
no, I feel that.
It's different. It was fun though, definitely, and like, here's to more. But yeah, it was definitely fun. This call was definitely fun. Great to see you. Great to put a face to voices. Always helps. And thanks everybody in chat for watching. You guys are amazing. If you want to follow me, I'll put it in chat, but everywhere is Segi VA except for Twitter. There's an underscore between the VA because for some reason the child in Serbia who has that name won't give it to me. I've messaged him. He just doesn't respond. Probably a deactivated account. I'll talk to Twitter about it. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. And that's me on the internet. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Toodles.
And then there's people we know.
Well, I'm streaming, so I have to go last.
Yeah, you do.
You are. I'll take the bullet. There's a lot I could say about Epithet Erased. Like being like with everybody here, like part of the anime campaign kind of crew. It's really emotional because of just. It's partly how I've met like everybody here, and I always consider you guys really good friends. I know we don't talk much, but overall, this experience with Epithet Erased has been so surreal. I was so happy to kind of take this passion of voice acting, bring it to Jello and our group of friends, and just play what I thought was just like a stupid, fun tabletop show for us, and just to see it evolve into what it is now and what it's hopefully going to become in the future. It always makes me so welled up just to have this experience I will never forget until the day I die. Sylvie is such an important character to me for multiple reasons. It's been so fun following all the people in the chat, what you guys do for the show. The cast is amazing. We could gush on them forever. Everybody feels so perfect for the role. And I'm so excited to see where the show goes. I'm excited to see what you guys like do on like as an audience and support the show with. You guys are amazing. I guess I'll just plug stuff and leave it at that. My Twitch is Majin Zelfer. You'll see me post a lot about streams I do. I'm currently commissioned over to run tabletop streams over at Valorous Games. Go follow them. We got a cool cast there. And yeah, I don't want to keep rambling like this, but You guys here mean a lot to me and always will. Same to you guys in the chat, and I hope we get to talk more. And yeah,
all right.
You all have a good rest of the weekend. Enjoy yourselves and be good people.
All right.
Take care.
Thanks for coming out. Bye. Big wholesome hours. All right.
Yeah. Hi. Well, bye, actually. Yeah. I'll make this pretty quick since it's been said dozens of times. Thanks again for making this thing and choosing me for Ramsey. I know it was quite the battle for that auditioning process, but thanks for that, man. I needed that win under my belt. But
The entire Congo line of God, this is so like, oh, I'm so glad I got this chance. Yeah! Barely got that win!
You know who I am. No, but seriously, thank you very much for this. I know this was a hell of a process, but you made something pretty goddamn spectacular. And it's just been a very positive impact for everybody. So thanks for that. You can find me on Twitter. I don't do anything. I just retweet. But if you want to, it's Big Moving Target. And you can see me on Surprise Round RPG on Twitch for various games like Eben Ward. But that's on hiatus right now. But if you're starved for content, there's almost 90 sessions. So there's that. So, but again, thanks everybody, and toodaloo.
Bye. Doop, boop, boop.
Wow, I didn't think I'd be last, but I got here last, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said you were you said you were nervous before you popped in. I thought you did a great job as Trixie, especially because you had the hardest first time since you were debuting on a stream of over 1,000 people in a live cold read.
Don't make me hear that. Don't make me think about that. I'm gonna think about that later and be like, oh, your donut, what the hell? I think the main thing that I want to say thanks for is like, thank you for keeping her in and like having her even be a character, even if at that point in time when the first season was like finished and final, and we were just like, I don't know what's gonna happen after this. I was like, even just having her in at the end there, like I didn't expect that to be like necessary, but the fact that you did that was like, that was really nice, and I appreciate it a lot. I appreciate like the extent that I was allowed to help out with like the production, even if it was like small and at the start. I can still see that like even a lot of the characters that we designed together are still just very much this is who they are, and these are characters, like character designs, just like entire characters that people have fallen in love with and like just done so much for the fans. And it's like, yeah, man, I had a part in that. That feels really good. So, yeah. Thanks.
And
thanks to all the voice actors and everybody else for doing a great job.
Yeah, and I assume you have individual things to plug, but as a buddy act plug.
Oh yeah.
Eventually on this channel, Civ and I very slowly read through Ace Attorney games. I think we're on like what, year 3 now somehow?
Year 3, yeah.
Holy shit.
I don't like
that.
Again, don't make me think about that.
Time doesn't work.
No.
Yeah, we read the first investigations game in 1 week, and then it took a year and a half for the second one, and then we started Leighton and then had to stop because this is basically. But I'm liking the Leighton game a lot because the Leighton parts are just fun and actually good, whereas the side games...
They're charming and they're silly.
Whereas most of the Ace Attorney games are pretty frustrating if they are not written by Shu Takumi. So, yeah, no. Eventually, when we have our energy back, we're going to do that again. And we get to go back to Dogs! Dogs!
When we're not playing Dogs, we're just drawing. Making stibs.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, I have a Twitter.
Yeah. What is it?
Where I draw. I have multiple things. Twitter is where I'm most active. My Twitter is @SpectralFusion, and I believe my Patreon's the same thing. I got a little Patreon over there for $3. You can get a piece of art every week or whatever the heck else I throw at you. And then I have my own Twitch. Twitch.tv/SpectralFusion, I believe. And I stream art over there and just hang out with all my buddies. And Jello's there every now and then. Will's usually there, and just most of the crew.
Yeah.
So if you want chill art time, come on over here.
All right. Thanks for coming out, Civ. I think I'm just going to wrap up a couple last questions solo and then finish this off if you wanted to pop
All right,
out.
I'm going down.
Thanks for coming.
How do I get out of here? Wait, my joke didn't work. No.
I think it's bottom right. Oh, there she goes. All right. Hello. Yes, let's wrap this up. Thank you guys all for coming. That was a very long stream. This is by a significant margin the most I have ever had people watching something. I had a couple things I specifically wanted to plug. Let's see if they're on this clipboard because I was gonna say something about them. Are they? Yeah, I'm gonna throw you guys at Youmacon official in just a second. When I'm done, I'll raid their stream. Gosh, is there anything else? There were a couple questions I wanted to answer. Am I okay? Am I taking care of myself? No. I am doing very badly physically. My body is now older than it is young, and I can feel all of my bones, and all of them scream. Oh, yes. Hello, Bo is there. Thank you for commissioning me. You did a great job. All of Bo's stuff is great. Remember to clip the stream? I will. I've got 2 weeks to do it. Yeah, I do get to rest now. Stuff I'm going to be doing... Oh, someone asked, do I have a Discord server? No, I hate public Discords and I think they're bad and gross, so that I do not have them. If you like my stuff, you can follow me on Twitter or YouTube or Patreon, all of which are some flavor of JelloApocalypse. My Twitter is just my name, which is just Brendan Blaber, at Brendan Blaber. Can we hear a bit on the music production? Basically, for the music production, I have no musical talent. I can sing a little, but I'm not trained. I will write lyrics. I love writing lyrics to songs. And then I will give them to my sister, and Plaster, and she will go, ugh, and then reluctantly make them. She pretty much just solo did the entire music production by herself in the side. And then she was the last person I ended up paying for this project because I was like, hey... I will pay you. Can I pay you last? I literally have... at one point, at the start of this project, I had $150,000 saved up of my own money. And I got $100,000 from Verve. And then I borrowed the remainder from Aram and my parents and told them I'd pay them back, which I have now. And at the very end of Epithet, I believe I had like $3,000 in my bank. So I literally went down to 1% of my starting amount of money, and I'm slowly bouncing back. I'm fine now. But yeah, the one fun thing is that if you pay that much money, that the government gives you money back in taxes. I got like $18,000 from tax returns, which was great. Will there be music in the audiobooks or just the VAs talking? I don't know. I've never made an audiobook, and I've only listened to like 2 in my whole life. I don't know what they do. They're much longer than a normal production, so I don't know how you could reasonably do music. I'm going to say no, tentatively, but maybe. Are any of the Bonsai Blasters related to each other? No. Am I keeping Yumta's backstory? Not exactly the same, because it was weird and out of place and stupidly dark. It's very similar. Her relationship with the Bliss Ocean leader is more along in things. They had this weird moment that didn't really make any sense. Like, it was emotionally captivating, but it didn't really make any sense if you thought about it at the end of Anime Campaign. That will have already happened in Epithet, and they are just a couple. So am I going to repost Anime Campaign again? At this point, honestly, probably not. I have had episode 1 of Anime Campaign sitting on my desktop for all of the last year, waiting to slowly edit it. And I mean, I'll put it up eventually somewhere. Lamp has the footage. And I'm just like, I'll edit this to the funny parts and put it on somewhere. I'll put it on Patreon and compare it to the normal lines. And literally every time I sit down, I'm just like, this is so boring. Like, I can't sit here for more than 10 minutes and listen to this. It's just awful. It's just so bad. It's like such a step down. I literally feel bad presenting it as something I did to people. I know people want to see it, but whatever. Are there any future Anime Campaign characters that are getting cut? Yes, a lot of them. We're also adding a couple. And let's see. Please look at your mentions on Twitter. I made a thing. Just so you know, I don't get, unless I'm following you, I don't get mentions from you in Twitter. You gotta like tag your stuff, hashtag Epithet Erased. I look through that tag sometimes. I don't, if you've ever made something and I haven't looked at it, that's why. I will see stuff if you throw it at me on Tumblr, but Twitter is too loud and too many bad things come at me. So I just turned off all notifications. Don't tell me you're cutting everyone's favorite character, Vertical Troy. I literally forget he's in Epithet Erased because he's a character from other things Lamp made. Next plush, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to do another one. I'd like Sylvie's sheep, personally. Though I think most people would want like a Percy or a Ramsey. Don't cut Sierra. I'm not gonna. I love Sierra Saxton. I will literally need to talk to a lawyer to see if I can keep Sierra Saxton as a mousetrap enthusiast, like the video game. Anything else? Twitter bad. Someone keeps repeatedly asking, even though I've answered both on Tumblr and today in text, what the sexuality of certain characters are. So here are the LGBT reps. Giovanni is bisexual, according to Rube. I had him listed as straight initially. He's bi. That's Rube's call, not mine. Molly is a question mark because I think she's too young to even think about it. So she doesn't know. Though, that being said, Feeny and Trixie... Trixie is pan and Feeny is bi. I don't know Ramsey. Percy is ace. I don't know if she's Aero or not, but she is ace. That's Aram's call, and he hasn't gotten back to me on that. Zora is bi. Like I said in the stream, Percy is non-binary. Do I want to spoil this? It's gonna be so long, and I think people would like some news on this. So, okay. Here will be the nugget of, because this is going to be the biggest Epithet Erased thing for months and months and months. So why not? Why not end on this fun note? So you guys have seen on screen 3 of the 4 Bliss Ocean people, including a blacked out version of their leader on the screen. People are familiar with Sunglasses Guy, as they call him in the hood. Sunglasses Guy is a girl now. So their character is very, very different. And they are I need to say this because that character is insane and was just straight up a stupid joke in the original. They're now an actual character and they are now trans rep. Trans rights. So Rhea drew that character's design, actually. It's ridiculous. I lost it. I could not find it anywhere. So, trans rights, Sunglasses is a trans girl. Same epithet and same name, yes. So their character originally, and they are not, like, of all the 3 remaining important Bliss Ocean characters, they're the one who I care the least about in terms of spoilers, because they show up pretty soon after the story continues. And they are still very goofy, but like originally that character was just, I am Girl-chan and Paradise references, and it is dumb. Now they are like the edgy Shadow the Hedgehog character who's very into like looking out into the distance and waxing philosophical. Their design is very like, I think Ray and I described it as like gamer chair turned into a person. And it's like 50 parts, like, it's like 6 parts, my brooding past, even though there isn't one. And then 4 parts, the same, like, I will beat you up energy. Soul in glass to say pure. Yeah, no, very much gamer girl. So there's your big reveal of this panel. Do we get any of Chula or Lamp's characters? Answer, I don't know yet. Slim is not going to be in the next arc, though he he is getting replaced with a character who's kind of different, and he's a new character, and I can't talk about him too much. He is briefly in the first book I'm going to be writing, and then immediately more focal in the second. But there is a new character who is inspired by Slim and a couple other people. Are the eyes still the same? I don't know. Yeah. How does my family... I don't know if my family's watched Epithet. I have no idea. I think they watch all my stuff. My dad is a very big fan of our own stuff. Crossing my fingers for Riot. Riot is not in the prison arc. He might show up in the... 1, 2, 3... He might show up in the 4th or 5th book, but that's going to be it. There's already so many characters running around the prison, like that. I was dreading that if it was going to be animated. I was like, I have no idea how I'm going to condense this. It's going to be so tricky. A lot of stuff is still up in the air. I'm focusing on the first half of this story, which is more related to Lorelei. Habu, I have no idea. I'm the one who made the cute in to start. Oh, thank you. Thank you for making that. Will Doc Chappie be around? Probably not. The all of Adventure 5, the robot game show adventure, that's totally cut. That's completely gone. The new layout is we've got what we have in the animated already. Then there's a sort of toy store adventure that leads directly into the prison adventure. They are one story arc collectively. After that is Horizontal Pilot Command, which I think is going to be one book, and it's going to be long because I get to write an actual mystery. And can't say anything about that. Characters are in certain positions in the investigation team that make it a very interesting investigation, given how their powers work. Agatha Fuckwhistle, probably not. Epithet gets a little raunchier than it is, but I don't want to have a character named Fuckwhistle. Yeah. Spayer asked me to say that Gaius exists. I don't know if Gaius is going to exist. The original plan with Gaius was to have him have an arc with a certain character and Ramsey, but Lamp couldn't make it to the final boss battle with those characters, so there really wasn't like a wrap on that arc, and I was like, well, kind of a whimper, nothing to adapt there. I already have to cut a bunch of characters. It's not targeted, it just happens that like a lot of Chula's characters and a lot of Lamp's characters, I'm just like, these didn't end up being important in the final story. Noah, I bet, will show up. Guile could show up as like a vendor at Horizontal Pilot Command. Will there be magical girls? Yeah, sorry. So Horizontal Pilot Command is the third story arc. Then after that, I think I want to do the sub-in for... Oh, by the way, the prison arc is no longer in the desert. It's now in a country we didn't... Deep Woods country, which is sort of a jungle. And it's in the middle of a big glowing lake called the Lockdown. Like, oh, Nissi and the Lockdown. And that's a cookie-related prison break. And prison break-in and breakout story arc, which I'm excited for. A lot of moving pieces there. And instead, we visit Desert Country in their Las Vegas-style capital after Horizontal Pilot Command. That is the new Utah adventure. And I think it's going to be a body swap adventure. And I also, actually, you know who I think we are bringing back is, I don't know if anyone remembers this character, because they were from one of the side non-canonical ones that it was from anime Lamp Jane, which Jay and Lamp, Mystery Tuxedo, who is Will's character. I think I might bring him back, because I just need a character who has an epithet switcheroo. Don't quote me on any of that. This is all very liable to change. Yeah, the body swap adventure is there because I would like to do the correct way to do body swapping, which is having your voice actors imitate each other instead of just switching voices, because that's lame and easy. I, 'cause, 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 ' after that, so it's that like carnival-y Las Vegas adventure. Then Magical Girls, which is the Trixie Feeney adventure. It's about their dynamic with each other. It's also about Mara and Indus. And then Fish Country, which actually gets a focus adventure. And that is about... Don't say this character's name, because some of you know who this is. That's going to be about Rick, that party might be insane. I don't know who's going to be there, but I think the protagonists of that storyline, if things shake out, and I don't even mind saying this because these spoilers are so immaterial, like they're all so subject to change, that this might actually fake you guys out in a way that works to my advantage. That party, I think, is going to be Giovanni, Rick Shades, Zora, Ramsey, and mystery final Bliss Ocean leader working together. And the bad guys are the evil guy who shows up in Rick's backstory and anime campaign and the leader of the Bonsai Blasters. Because Molly's group is mostly, they're focal in the Magical Worlds adventure. Basically, it's like, if you imagine like the parties, essentially all of Epithet works where it's like adult parties and kid parties. So, you know, you got the museum arc, which is kids, then adults in Redwood Run, then it's kids again in the toy store, then adults and kids in the prison. Everybody is in Horizontal Pilot Command. Horizontal Pilot Command, I think, is going to be the best story arc if I pull it off. And then after that, it's, I don't know what's going to happen with the 5th adventure. I don't know what's going to happen with Carnival, but I'd like that to be a Yumta adventure. And I'd like it to focus on Molly and Lorelei also, because there's a lot to do there with body swap stuff. Like a sort of Freaky Friday, live a day in their shoes kind of situation. I think that could be good for some character development. Then it splits again with kids going off to do Magical Girls, adults going to Ocean Country, and then convening for the finale. There's children in the jail. Molly's there at least. I'm not sure if Trixie and Feeney will be there. I'd like them to. I love writing that trio. They are my favorite characters to write. Jericho, no, sorry. I really am trying to work in a joke where Jericho is there and something about Ramsey and him making a gold split joke because no one will get it. But it'll be fun. Stink lives in the stink pile. Yeah. Yeah, anything else before I wrap this up? Considering recent events in the U.S. Oh yeah, no, Percy's thing. This is not necessary. Like, I was kind of gonna do this even before the U.S. was all fuck cops, because I've always been fuck cops. Percy's story arc is kind of learning about the flaws in the police system. Some of the bad guys in the upcoming things are related to the judiciary system. So, essentially it's Percy realizing, like, I have this bit written where, Ramsey's just like, I have a complaint about someone who works in the police force. And she's just like, well, they're a police officer. You should report it to them. No, they're the problem. I don't understand. Like, what am I supposed to do when the good guys are actually bad guys? And just zooms into Percy's face while she's thinking. And then she goes, oh no. like she never considered that cops could be evil. But yeah, I'm going to address that. Can we get an idea on the next release date for Epithet content? No, I have no idea. Boo. Will I upload the script today? Yeah, I can put it on Patreon if you want. Do I mind people using the Epithet Erased animation style for their own projects? No, I don't own it. You can do whatever you want. Any Stan Goldstein? Fuck yeah, I love Stan Goldstein. Stan Goldstein's gonna be there. Did you mean to say Trixie is non-binary? Yeah, I mean, I said it, like, it was pretty explicitly stated in the script. What is my favorite arc to write? Haven't written them, don't know. Will Sylvie meet the trio? Yeah, Sylvie is not plan to be in the next 2 story arcs just because there are too many characters I need to introduce, and I can't focus on too many of them. Like, I already am like, who makes it into the prison? But Sylvie is focal in horizontal pilot command. When Sweetwater. Sweetwater is my next thing I'm working on. So, any Meryl name drops. You already got pretty much all you're going to get with Meryl. Sorry. So Sweetwater, yeah, that's a good thing to close this off on. Sweetwater is the new thing I am working on. I can play the theme song for you if you want. Ba-doop, boop, boop. Sweetwater theme for 2? Oh, yep. Yep, come on. You can do it. Here, this.
With honeyed words and promises, he led me to my fate. Even tied at the waterside, the devil's sweet embrace. And as the venom filled my veins, to the water I was thrown. A silent voice that could not scream, my muscles turned to stone. And I sank down, down, down. And I sank down, down, down. To the bottom, to the bottom, to the bottom of the lake. You could wait till the water dries, but by then it'd be too late. Filled me with his poisons, but I never saw his face.
Okay, so it's probably gonna loop. Sweetwater is a dark horror murder mystery series. It is just tabletop, heavily edited tabletop. It's not like Epithet. It's not animated at all. It's coming out soon-ish. I don't want to give a date. My initial date was April. That didn't happen. This is the worst my physical health has ever been this year. My hands were broken for most of the year because I had an elbow problem that kept getting misdiagnosed as a hand thing. That's done now, but now I have back issues that are fucking with me, and I've got really bad neck issues too. And I'm sick all the time. I was sick for 2 months. But I am trying to work my way through Sweetwater. I'm doing the opening first. And then once I've got the opening, I've started editing the first episode. We've recorded the first couple episodes. It is Sweetwater is an improvised murder mystery where the murder and the mystery is set, but the way it is engaged with is up to the players. There are multiple players. Will, who is Ramsey, is in it. I don't think anyone else from Epithet is involved. It's Will, then Austin, who some of you might know from Surprise Round, Austin's girlfriend Mo, who's hilarious, Christian, if you follow Surprise Round or primarily Stabbing Us stuff, Christian, who does 13th God, is in it. And Savvy, who is in some of my other videos. He's the British one. They are all players. The game is I tried to design a murder mystery Metroidvania where there is a core mystery and then multiple mysteries that stem out from it like a network of tree roots, and they're all buried. And each player is playing multiple characters in the town. So Savvy, for instance, he's a scientist, he's a cop, and he's like a train yard worker, and they're all situated at different parts of town. So my job as the conductor is to focus on different parts of the story and slowly tell a collective murder mystery narrative as it's brought together by all of these characters. It's going to be very difficult. It's a weird experiment. I want to see if we can pull it off. I've edited the opening cutscene, which has another player who things happen to them. And it's actually pretty scary. I think we did a good job. Again, it is horror. It is like, if Epithet is like Toonami Cartoon Network energy, I would say this is like HBO. This is like 18 plus, drugs, murder, nudity allowed, very dark material, like abuse, and like it's like the whole works. So I want to give, like, you guys are here for Epithet. I want to give a big old asterisk warning on that. Like, if you like Epithet stuff, you might not like this. I happen to love Epithet flavored stuff, but that I also really love true crime murder. So that's what this is. And I wanted to see if I could make something that isn't silly. So yeah. Force Jello to take a break. No. Where's Sweetwater going to be posted? Somewhere on YouTube. The first episode, I think, is going to be on my main YouTube. Or maybe just the opening. And then I'll go, hey, this is a new series. It needs to be in its own place. It is going to be on its own YouTube channel. I think it's going to be on my backup channel. Will Rook come back? I love Rook. So yes, I have something very spicy planned for the songstress. I also know who is going to be playing the songstress already, and she has said yes if we get that far. What else? Give your map maker a shout out. Aloha made maps. Like, what else do you want? That won't mean anything to anybody here. Chula, what about her? I already answered most of those questions. Yeah, and those. Will the women love women go wild over the songstress? Yes. That is not what I mean by the spicy thing. The way I'm sitting, it looks like this one tooth is like darker than the others because it's pushed in a little bit. So it's just the light is hitting these teeth and then not this one. Just ting. Lost it. That like really bugs me. Shout out to Ramsey. I don't like that ship. I think it's weird. Sorry. Yeah, that's all I got. I gave you the Sweetwater preview. I gave you the spicy deets. If you made anything during this stream, I'd love to see it. Tag it as hashtag Epithet Erased on Twitter. I won't see it unless I'm following you otherwise, if you at me. Yeah, so that's all the things. I'm gonna go sleep now. All right, and I'm gonna send you guys over to Youmacon. Thanks again to them for hashtag raid. Thanks again to them for coming out. I don't know what they're doing right now, but it's probably cool. All right, we're almost ready to raid. Yeah, thanks for coming out. Also, feel free to follow this channel and follow me on Twitter. We do voiced readings sometimes. It's usually me and Civ and then a friend. All right, raid. Goodbye. Ba-da-da-da.